Morena, everyone. Welcome along to Tauranga Domain here in the Bay of Plenty at the New Zealand Secondary Schools 2020 Track and Field Champs. It's good to have your company because we are straight on into the action with semi-finals in the senior boys 100 metres. So we've got two heats lining up. We have Jalal Woods from Dilworth, Jordan Toy of Tauranga Boys, Ethan Wallace of Matamata, Oliver Krishnan of St. Patrick's, Jacob Stockwell of New Plymouth, Matthew Roger of Wairarapa, Henry Palmer of Hamilton Boys, Eli Leafy of Christchurch Boys. This is the business end, Portia, of the 100s.
Yeah, definitely. So heaps of these guys will be definitely feeling it today. We did see them run a couple of rounds yesterday, plus we've seen some of these boys feature in the 200s as well. So it was definitely a big day yesterday. So it'll be interesting to see how they feel this morning. It's a little bit nippy out there. I don't want to say it's cold, but a little bit chilly, that wind, compared to the other couple of days we've had here.
Yeah, totally. I did my long run this morning, and it was one of those, felt like a singlet was a little bit underdressed at the start, but 5 minutes into it, you're like, your singlet was the right approach. So I'm sure these guys will have done their warm-up. Now, there is a scratching in lane 5. That's Jacob Stockwell, so that's a shame to see. No, Jacob, he was one of the favourites for this title, so this is going to be interesting. And we're away cleanly for the first heat of the Senior Boys 100 semi-finals, and pulling away is our St. Patrick's boy, Oliver Krishnan. Solid run from him. It was all lined up for second place, but Oliver Krishnan looking hot for the 100 final later today. So top 3 go through in the next 2 fastest times. You got a call on the second place, Portia?
This is a great angle to try to call it from, right?
It was so close. This might be a little bit better. I want to say it's coming from one of those 3 lanes on the inside. Whoa, maybe Ethan Wallace got that second place. Remember, the top 3 go through. We're going to get a feed through of the results shortly.
Yeah, well, we're
definitely be able to read out.
Definitely. We're definitely at the business end of things, because we just saw in that race how tight it is, and we are looking for the top 3. So it'll be interesting to see who, unfortunately, who misses out. I think there will be a few upsets there, because we do often see people who tend to, make the finals quite easy. If they do cruise in these rounds, they will get pipped at the line. So it's definitely one of those things that the guys have really got to put in almost full effort, I'd say, in these, last few rounds.
Yep, you don't want to be just looking left and right thinking that you can ease up. You need to, like you say, go all the way to the line with these 100s. So one of the other favourites for this title is in his track pants and got his spikes on, so we can see the eddies warming up, so that's good to see. So a reminder, this is 2 semi-finals. Top 3 go through, and then we're looking for the next 2 fastest.
Yeah, so just a reminder as well, the record is 10.60 from 1977, Benjamin Potter. So we haven't seen that record broken yet. We did see Eddie run last year in the 100 metres, but the weather was pretty horrific down in Wellington. So hopefully if we get really nice winds this weekend, we will see that record go. It's quite an old one, 1997 rather. 1977.
Yeah, last year Eddie ran 10.64. Oh no, sorry, that was at the National Track Champs. So I don't have the secondary schools time in front of me, but
we clearly remember that it was not ideal conditions.
It's definitely not ideal. This is way better. This is definitely way better for sprinting. So here we go with the start list. We have Harrison Bond of St. Paul's, Max Brebner of Tauranga, Harley Patel of Muxlow, Edward Osei, Nikitia, Jaden Baker, John Wells, Will Chun, 7. Mapu will be in lane 8. It is looking good. Also Harley Patel, Muxlow also looking strong. It looks like number 3 was Will Chun coming through nice and strong from Christchurch Boys High.
Patel, Maxlow on the inside and Will Chun on the very outside.
So yeah, it looks like 7 Mapu was a scratching, and yeah, definitely Will Chun picking up the 3rd of those autos. We'll wait and see, as hopefully our... Oh, it might help if I plug in this laptop so we can get updated times. There we go, they're coming through. So Eddie Osei Nikitia winning that in 11.53. Will Chun 11.62. Harley Patel Maxlow very close, 11.65. And then the first of the non-autos was Jaden Baker in that heat, 11.86. And John Wells was in fifth, 11.91. Harrison Bond, 12.24. And Max Brebner in seventh, in 12.71. So time's definitely not lightning quick, so they're definitely battling into that wind a little bit this morning.
Yeah, definitely. And I think one of the big things to consider as well, it is pretty chilly for a sprinter out there. It's quite early in the morning. It is 9 o'clock. It's not the most amazing time to go sprint. I don't know if you've ever tried to go to the gym or be explosive at 9 o'clock in the morning, and for a lot of these guys it is school holidays.
Yeah.
So they'll be used to those,
the
10 a.m. starts.
The tricky thing for a lot of these guys is, so these are the junior semi-finals that we see on screen. So the tricky thing for a lot of these guys is their teammates are now on holiday, full Christmas holiday, staying in the same hotel, same accommodation as them, having to get up at 9 and be ready for 100. Meanwhile, the guys who did the discus or the javelin on Friday or early in the weekend, they're just chilling.
Exactly, they're chilling, staying up late, playing some card games, making a ruckus. It's a great time travelling for schools. Yeah,
so we are over live at the senior boys shot put final. So this is round one, and I can quickly go through the start list here. We've got William Krofsky of Cambridge High School, Caedmon Hawkins of Wairarapa, Ben Phillips of St Bede's, Liam Knockwolf of Manurewa, James Patterson of John McGlashan, Jamin Miller of Otago Boys, Theo Maddox of Tauranga Boys, Max Abbott of Wellington College, Quinn Motley of Timaru Boys High School, Lycian Lioso of St Peter's, Max Tiorua of Kaipara College, Hano Nell of Napier Boys, Marcus Hamilton of Christ College, Cameron Moffat of Otago Boys, Whano Asiata of St Peter's, and Trent Hogg from Southland Boys. So a good, strong field of 16 boys lining up in this, and here we have William Krofsky for his first attempt.
I think they're in their second round. So first row for William was 12.77. So we are looking for the top 8 best throws to get an additional 3 throws here. So that was a little bit less. He was 11.85 there. So a little bit down from that 12.77 for his first throw.
On the inside, in fact, got second, Liam McKellar, Rangitoto College second, and Stanley Solomon, Wellington College, was in third position, 11.80 and 11.82, very close there. And in fourth place, Jamie Doubleday from Kirikiri High School, 11.95.
We have a no throw there.
Just for to break the 12 seconds.
So coming up next will be Ben Phillips. Ben Phillips from St Bede's College. He had no throw his first round, so he's really will be looking to nail something in the sector, get something on the board there.
Using the spit approach on the neck, just cradling it in. Here he goes, using that rotational technique that we talked about with the females yesterday. Now we're into the boys circle. He'll get his first mark on the board for his second round.
I do see the red flag flying again, so I'm not 100% sure what happened there. They must have. I'm feeling like there was a technical issue there where when he's rotated, his foot may have hit the lip of the circle of the ring.
Stop board there.
Yep. Most likely, since we couldn't see anything obvious there. Right,
so Liam Knockwolf. So he's your champion from the hammer throw yesterday. He really dominated that competition with the other Manarewa boys.
Yep, here's our current leader. 16.74 was his first throw. So he's current leader by about 3 metres. Comfortable lead there at the moment. This is his second throw.
Tell you what, whatever Manarewa was doing with the throws down there in South Auckland, man, you guys are cranking it. Look at that, another leader.
17.17.
Second semi.
So that's an improvement from his first round of 16.74 to 17.70.
So left-handed, swinging obviously the reverse direction.
1, William Robertson. Second, 11.92.
And this time gliding across the circle.
James Peterson. 11.70 was his first round. We're looking to improve on that and try to bump up into that top 8 positions.
After round 1 in the senior boys shot put, Liam Ball leading the 16.
11.39, so not quite as far as that first one of 11.70.
And Cameron Moffat on 14 metres 14 to Otago boys in third.
So this is Jamin Miller from Otago boys. First row was 12.36. Comfortably sitting maybe just within the top 8 at the moment, but he'll definitely want to improve on that just to secure an additional 3 throws. We are in round 2 of the senior boys shot put. It's a little bit chilly out there today as well, so it'll be interesting for these boys. We did talk about yesterday, shot putters don't exactly enjoy getting up and throwing, being powerful. Same thing as a sprinter, it's just that power in the morning. No one's got it going for them in the morning.
I was going to say we should put the distance runners on at this time. And funnily enough, we do have the distance runners on at this time because they are concurrently doing the road race, which is down at Automotai, just down the road from here. Unfortunately, we are unable to get a camera down there. It's a couple of K away. So you can follow the results on the NZSSAA.org.nz website. The link just on that right-hand column will be the one that will take you through to the results platform, and they will come through shortly.
We just have an improvement there from Max Abbott from Wellington College. I do believe that Max is, I want to say he's a decathlete. If he's not, if he's not a decathlete, might be an insult, but no one likes to be called a decathlete if you're not a decathlete. So he may be a decathlete, I believe, though, but he did get 11.24 on his first round, and he's moved up to 12.14, so quite a good improvement there for him.
I'm pretty sure we've been calling Max's name in various events, so you could well be right.
So it was Quinn Motley there from Timaru Boys High School, 12.24 was his first throw. He's into his second throw, so we'll wait for the measurement there to come through. 12.99, nice. So again, there's an improvement there for Quinn.
So next up on the track that we'll be featuring on our coverage here will be the semi-finals for the 200-metre boys. So we just had the 100-metre boys. They're going to be back at 10:39 for the 200s. And we've got 2 semi-finals for that. And then we move into some para 200s. We'll be covering those, the finals. And then from 11:08, that's where the action really kicks off with a whole bunch of finals going through 800s. We've got some walks. We've got the high hurdles to get through. So a whole bunch of action to follow this morning on the track. But right now,
it's another Max, who is also a decathlete.
That's confusing.
Yeah, so 12.28 for Max's first row. So see if he can improve on that there. So I want to say that a decathlete will be looking out towards that. Maybe I want to say they're kind of trying to get to that 13-14 metre mark, keeping in mind that decathlete has never got the same kind of strength as a pure shot putter.
Do we say you need to be mediocre at all? As runners, that's what we like to say of triathletes. You got to be mediocre at everything.
I'm not sure how it fits with decathlon, but I do know for heptathlon, interestingly enough, a lot of the girls they cross over into other events and are actually world champions in different events. There was Daphne Shippers from the Netherlands. Amazing. Went over to the 200 and won the 200. Jessica Ennis was extremely good at the hurdles. I think she doubled up in one of the Olympics. I want to say she did heptathlon and hurdles. And I know Katrina Thompson-Johnson as well. She does the high jump? She does high jump and long jump. And at World Champs she won the heptathlon, and then the next day she had a couple of days, and then she went and did the high jump as well at World Champs, and she came like 4th.
Epic. Yeah. Amazing. And that's the thing, like I kind of joke about being mediocre at everything, but you actually need to be very, very good at everything, and often you're world class in a couple of those events as well.
Yeah, I would say it's not. I would say you'd be world class in a couple of events. We're talking about top level heptathlete decathletes. World class in a couple of events, but you'll definitely have your weak events.
Yeah.
Sometimes the weak events are extremely weak. I do remember at World Champs, a couple of the girls would be, throwing towards the 11-metre mark in a shot put, which you think about someone like Valerie Adams, you're out at the 20-metre mark. 11 metres isn't exactly world class. So.
Yeah, I mean, when you think the sprinters aren't going half as slow. Yeah, so that's probably not a perfect comparison. But
yeah, exactly. But one of the good things as well for these decathletes to come to events like this is that they actually can enter a lot of events. The secondary schools are set up for athletes to be able to compete in multiple events as well. So,
and that's part of why we've got shot puts so early in the morning, so we can
just for decathletes, right?
Well, actually fit in a series of throws and not having the throws overlapping each other and enable these guys. A lot of them are doing the three throws in terms of the hammer, shot and discus. We call them the heavy throws, the power throws,
the rotational throws.
Yep.
I was going to say, because if they're not doing javelin, I assume they're all rotating.
Yeah. There's a lot of transference of movement patterns and strength patterns. So Trent Hogg from Southland Boys, that won't improve on his 14.82.
Oh no, this is Trent Hogg now.
Yep. So that was Whanau Asiata.
So we are in the second round of the senior boys shot put. Trent Hogg there for the last throw for this round. Previous throw was 14.82, so we'll have a look to see if he's improved on that. It looks like, I want to say he did nice, really big improvement there. 15.14 there for Trent Hogg, so moving him up the ranks a bit. There, looks like he's comfortably within the top 8. In fact, I want to say he looks like he's currently in second place.
Yeah. I think Cameron Moffat is in third with a 14.4. 14.2, sorry.
Yeah, so here we are starting our third round. So it's going to be a really interesting round for the boys. This is where we're really going to see what boys are going to be able to go for another additional 3 throws. That was William Krofsky's final of the top 3 throws, and that was at 11.79, so not improving on his 12.77, so we'll need to see if that's good enough. It looks to me like that might just squeak him into the top 8 with that 12.77, but it'll be close. There's a lot of guys around. And just 3 who have broken the 14-metre barrier, with Cameron Moffat, Trent Hogg and Liam Knockwolf, who is the clear leader out at 17.17. But here is Ben Phillips. He hasn't got a mark on the board so far, so this is his last chance. And it looked like he stayed in the circle that time. That could be a throw to keep him in the competition. Possibly up into those high 12s. It is a 13.09. That was a pretty accurate guess.
Yeah, well.
One of the most accurate guesses we've had this week.
Now would be a good time to start getting a bit more accurate with my guesses. All right, so Liam Knockwolf, he's the competition leader, the winner of the hammer throw yesterday.
So 17.17 was his second throw.
That keeps getting stronger.
He's just warming up. He started off at 16.74, moved up to 17.70. Let's have a look to see what this...
I'm calling this high 17s. That's my call. Yeah, look at that speed he generates. It's very reminiscent of the speed that we see from Tom Walsh when he's rotating. Just really using 16.67, sorry.
16.67.
But you're wrong. So 17.17 remains his best. And now we go back to James Patterson from John McGlashan.
Lane 4 Melbourne Andrews, Auckland Grammar School.
So if you've just tuned into the coverage, it's fantastic to have you here for the final day here in sunny Tauranga of the New Zealand Track and Field Champs, the 2020 edition. It's the final day, and if you've tuned in hoping to catch the road races, unfortunately we were unable to bring the coverage with all of our cameras being based at the stadium here. So the road course about 2 k's away down in Otamotai on the waterfront. Beautiful course, and they're reasonably sheltered from the sou'wester, which is blowing this morning. So should be good distance running conditions down there. So when results come through, we'll try and filter those through to you. So those road races kicked off at 8 a.m. and they're set to go through to about 10:30.
Inside there, Jacob Wilson, Tapanui High School, he's well out in front. Running away nicely.
13:08, that's a good improvement for Jarman Miller. So we saw that 13:09 from Ben Phillips before. That's going to be interesting. It looks like that 13-metre mark is at least what you want to be looking to do to secure a spot in the next round. Here's Max Abbott from Wellington College. Can he improve on his 12:14? I think that's a good improvement. Looks like he's up into the 13s as well. Our Marshall's doing a fantastic job. Look at that, 13:80. Now that is definitely, you would think, going to secure him a spot in that final 8. So remember, this is round 3. And Quinn Motley from Timaru has a best of 12:99. So can he get over that 13-metre mark? There we go. Looks like it could be. He's got a little half smile on his face. These boys are rising to the challenge of this third throw.
I was just doing a little bit of research, having a look into the shot put history. So the record's held by Jacko Gill, it's 5 kg.
13:13. Oh, this is going to be so tight for this top 8. So many guys in that low 13.
So
right, so Jacko Gill's got the record.
2010.
It'll be something ridiculous.
23:86.
Oh my gosh.
23:86 was Jacko's record. But interesting enough for these guys, I just want to point out something that I found quite interesting. I can't find the exact time when Tom was at school, but when he was under 19, I can see on
Tom Walsh.
Yeah, Tom Walsh. So when he was under 19, which might have been 1 or 2 years out of school, he came second in the men's under 20 at nationals with an 18:70.
14:07. Sorry to interrupt you. That won't change his placing, but I think that takes Leicester up to 4th place, but definitely secures him a spot. So here we go back to Max Tiorua.
The decathlete. So definitely Max will be looking for, I want to say his PB's around just under the 13-metre mark. So if he could break that 13-metre mark as a decathlete, that'd be, and that'd give him some serious points.
Well, they're underway, and it looks like Woolley, Allbell, Hanning.
Yeah, well, it was interesting with Tom Walsh because as juniors, as youngins, as we go to, is this one of the 200s? The 100 para?
He's warming up as he gets there over the 100 metres in lane 7 from Rangitoto College. So well done there, boys.
Yeah, so Jacko was kind of the standout as a junior. World Junior Champs. Is it still the youngest World Junior Champ? I think it's him and Usain Bolt were sort of neck and neck for being the youngest to claim world titles as juniors. But
yeah, but I think one of the interesting things as well, especially for a lot of these young shot putters, to know that they're actually on par for a lot of them. If Tom was throwing around this 18-metre mark, at that time, and obviously.
Totally.
Tom's on top of it as well. It's a progressive thing.
Yeah.
So there's still time for them to keep building on it, and just because they're not at that record distance yet, it doesn't mean that they're not going to keep progressing that way. So it's something interesting to keep in the back of your mind, that just how well you do at the schools is not a reflection of what your athletic career really will be, or your athletic potential, I'd say.
There's so much development that happens after high school, and I think it's easy to get caught up into the what you are is fixed at high school. But I remember I grew like 3 inches. I was the little short kid at high school, and I grew 3 inches at university.
I know you're just a little short guy.
I'm still not tall. But
playing the 3, Jack Lewington.
But also that
College,
the
and lane
aerobic
4,
development for the
Wikitera from
cardio-based
Takura.
athletes doesn't kick in till you're well into your 20s. And strength, obviously. Like, there's a lot of weight to put on for these power events.
He goes a 15-12 for Cameron, so that is actually quite a big improvement from in his final round. 15-12, so that puts him.
Oh yeah, that's.
I think
solid
that puts
from
him. I think that
Cameron
puts him
Moffat.
in second.
Yeah, just behind Trent Hogg. So there was Whanua Asiata from St. Peter's. He's got a best of 12.72. See if that is an improvement. Not quite. So 12.37. So he'll have to stick with his 12.72 as his best for the shot put for this weekend. Trent Hogg, here we go. So he's got a best of 15.14. Can improve that. He's booked his spot in the final 8. Can he edge closer to Liam Knockwolf?
$15.30. So still improving. That's an improvement on the 15.40 in round 2. So now we take a couple minutes breaks while the officials reshuffle the order. We'll see our top 8 go through to get a additional 3 throws. The order will go in reverse from furthest to...
Call for the Wellington
from number 8 to number 1. So our top thrower here is Liam with 16.63. So Liam will be
They're underway.
the last rower for round 4, 5 and 6.
Lane 3. He's down on his own. He'll be running for time. The time final.
We do have a couple of other events going on as well in the background. We do have the junior girls high jump going on, so jump online if you want to follow the live results on there. And we do have some para 100 metres going on as well.
That's the correspondence school. Oh, he had to stay on the right lane. He did. Well done. Fantastic. The wind affected. He got slightly off course, but he's back on track.
We're going to see the officials there just trying to tally up the results. And
There's a call for the manager of the Wellington Diocesan School to the TIC, please.
Yeah, so looking through the results, we can definitely tell you that Liam Knockwolf is a sure through. Also Cameron Moffat with his 15.12. Lacian Liosor with his 14.07 is a shoo-in. I'm just going through. So Trent Hogg is definitely through with his 15.30. So that's your top 4. The next 4, just scanning through so I don't put anyone wrong. Hano is through with a 13.62. Who else have we got? Cademan Hawkins with his 13.32. That was in round 1. I don't want to put anyone wrong, so I'm just double checking as I go. Quinn Motley with his 13.13.
17 metres 17. Second place, Trent Hogg from Southland Boys, 15.30.
And we'll confirm the others as they come through, just so we don't put anyone wrong.
see Liam there sitting on the ground, just relaxing. He knows he's got another big 3 throws ahead of him. So he's currently our leader at 17-17. So we almost saw him warming up in those 3 first round. He came out with a really strong opener of 16.74. Only got better from there on to 17.70. And then he did another 16.67. So quite consistent there.
Here's a replay of his big throw, the lefty.
Like I said, he was the winner, our national champion in the hammer yesterday.
Yeah. So last year, I think he got bronze in the hammer and was 5th in that really strong shot put field we had last year.
Senior multi para class, and then
I remember last year those guys were just throwing absolute
lane 1
bombs.
is Gina Hill.
with Nicholas Kinney taking that out, Zion Trigger Fatali, Dini Lauvi, and then Liam Knockwolf came through in 4th place actually for last year's shot put competition.
Walsh from Barradine, Sean Murphy from Carmel College.
Thanks everyone for sending through pronunciation corrections for names. That is super helpful. It actually is. We've got a whole lot of names to get through, and particularly the ones with silent J's always get me. So they're the tricky ones. Yeah, do send those through, because we want to make sure we keep pronouncing these names right. Because if they hear me saying it, everyone else thinks that's how you pronounce it. So we're the ones who want to set the standard. So please do hit us up if there's any pronunciations.
Yeah, and it's definitely one of those things. I know in the past a lot of commentators have called me Portia. And once it's stuck. I just changed my name, changed my birth certificate and went with it. Yeah, but it's just one of those things that it is a difficult when you're commentating, and you actually see the athletes come through.
I've never seen your name as Portia, but now you mention it. That's how it's spelled.
Yeah. And I was like, and I can guarantee you we're probably doing the same thing, looking at something and just pronouncing it as is. So, so definitely let us know. And these are the athletes that will be coming through the ranks in the future, so we definitely want to get on top of it in the early days.
Yeah. Absolutely. All right, so here we go. Quinn Motley, he got through with his 13.13. So we saw a bunch of guys just throwing. Jamin Miller threw at 13.08. Then we had Ben Phillips throwing the 13.09. Unfortunately, those guys just miss out, which means Quinn Motley sneaks through with that 13.13 in his final round. So that was very close to make the cut into that final 8, and he keeps improving, 13.36, so he's got a good progression where he's gone 12.24, 12.99, 13.13, and now 13.36. Great work. Cademan Hawkins from Wairarapa. And just sending that one out of bounds. Looks like he's also a rugby player in the first 15. As you should be. Great double to do the shot put and playing somewhere in the forward pack. Not necessarily, but often if you've got the power for the shot put, you'd make a good pusher in the scrum.
Good rotator in the scrum.
yeah, good rotator. I tell you, you could definitely drop a shoulder and drop someone in a good tackle.
I mean, it is a great combination. You got your summer, your winter sport.
Yeah.
Especially while you're at school.
Athletics is the perfect complement to basically any winter sport. We see a lot of hockey players, footballers, rugby players mixing it up in the sprints, especially. We've even seen the likes of Bowden Barrett perform very well at cross country, funnily enough, in his early years at high school.
All right, we have Max Abbott here. His best so far is 13.80. So let's have a look to see if he can improve on that 13.80. Doesn't look like he's got out that far, but we'll wait to see the official result come through.
And I definitely want to reinforce that point of, if you are sitting at home, you're a winter sports person, and you're thinking, how can I improve my winter sport? Well, this is a great way to do it. Build some strength, doing something like shot put or discus, and great coordination, and translate that over to your winter sport.
What was your winter sport when you were at school?
I did a little bit of football, a little bit of rugby. I was very, very small on the rugby field. But my claim to fame was doing a try-saving tackle on one of the biggest guys in the Manawatu where I lived, who ended up playing number 8 for the Manawatu. And I got into the changing sheds, and the coach said to the team, "Look, if Hayden can tackle this guy, anyone can tackle him." And I was like, yeah, that's not actually a compliment. That's when I realised that skateboarding and surfing was me at high school, and then I actually picked up distance running out once I'd finished school. So, yeah, it was only after school that I found a love for for running and punishing myself out on the trails and the roads and the track. But absolutely. So I kind of look back on my high school years thinking, oh man, I would have loved to have been doing all this stuff that these guys are doing. But I was down at the skate park chasing waves all around the country surfing.
Nice. So that's an improvement there for Trent Hogg to 16:51. So his previous
big improvement.
Yeah, so his previous best was 15:30. So it's really moved him up the ranks quite a bit there.
Yeah, and it might give a little hurry along to Liam Knockwolf. So it keeps Trent in second place, but it really pulls him away from Cameron Moffat, who's got a best of 15:12. But this man, Liam, might just have a bit of fire in his belly to keep improving. He has been constantly up either high 16s or that 17-17. Very consistent this morning.
24.85 it was.
15:41. Sorry, we're just doing some in-studio selfies. If you're wondering what the noises are.
We're not the most photogenic people, that's why we're behind the mic.
All right, so here we go. Back to round number 5 with Quinn Motley. So he improved up to that 13.36, which moves him just up to 7th position. He's only 7 centimetres back from Caedmon Hawkins. 26 centimetres back from his 13.62. But that one won't change the picture at all.
I just want to point out, I did take a photo of us, but it's only you.
Just remind everybody
I've cut myself out of the photo.
All right, so Caedmon Hawkins, he's only had 1 throw on the board. He's had 3 no throws. So let's see if he can get something on the board again. For a second, I thought that landed outside.
So did I. I thought the take was.
32.20.
Yeah, so nice safe throw there. He's currently 13.32.
Final field.
So he's sitting in 7th place with a 13.32. Let's see if we can improve on that.
13.40. That's an improvement. Will it change the picture? It will. So that moves him up 1 place. Does it? No, not quite. So 13.62 is 6th place. This man, hana-rae,
Kaiapoi High School, Cameron Maunda, I should say.
From Nature Boys. Good contingent from the Hawke's Bay. Coming over this weekend. Had a bit of a chat to some of the Hawke's Bay team last night, and they were very impressed with the number of athletes who have made it out here, and everyone's very excited in that part of the world.
Yeah, it's exciting to see some of the Hawke's Bay athletes out here, knowing that a lot of the senior athletics this year will be held at Hawke's Bay.
Yeah.
The national championships.
So 14.30 for that. Is that going to be improvement for him? It is. That's going to move him up to 4th place. So that's a big move. 15.12 is the mark for 3rd place at the moment, Cameron Moffat. So he's not going to edge him out, but it's going to just reshuffle those minor places at the moment. Big throw there from Hano. Now Max Abbott in the circle. Winding up, releasing, giving a bit of a yell. Oh, this looks good. Max has got a best of 13.8, but that's definitely an improvement. Max, round 5, the yell did the trick. Doesn't look amped, but that is going to move him well up the leaderboard. Well, it's definitely going to take him from 5th place up to 4th. So
Max Abbott
just shy of Cameron Moffat.
Yeah, so Max Abbott currently in 4th place.
So there's a 14.93 and fouling that one out.
So just quickly going back to Maxie, that was just over a metre improvement from his prior best of 13.80. That's a huge improvement in shot put.
Far out. Massive. All right, so here's Cameron Moffat. He's in your bronze medal position, place at the moment that looked like it was quite wide, but it is fouled out.
Another no throw there.
All right, so this is Trent Hogg from Southland Boys. He is sitting in second place with his 16.51, which was a good, solid improvement. Just over half a metre behind Liam. It's another good, solid throw. I don't think it'll threaten his 16.51.
I do like how he's throwing with a cap on as well. One of the things that was kind of crossing my mind is that if your cap falls out off your head in front of the circle, is it a no throw?
Is it deemed part of your body?
Yeah. I'm sure someone will be able to answer the question for us.
Yes.
I don't know. Actually, I don't know if someone
15.62.
would be able to answer that question, but if you know, let us know.
All right, here's Liam Knockwolf. He's been leading since round one with his 16.74 bomb that he dropped in that first round. Then the second round is the one that is leading the pack with that 17.17. And, oh, look at this. I'm no expert with the guesses on the distances, but this looks like it could be up around the 18-metre mark.
Yeah, this looks like another improvement. He's been absolutely dominating this field so far.
17.79. That's another big improvement. So definitely up close to 18 metres. Liam Knockwolf, he's come here to play, and look at that, a little bit of a spring in his step now. He's pretty amped about that one. So now he pulls away with more than a 2-metre lead. As we go back to the final throw of Quinn Motley, stay in the circle.
So we are in our final round. Quinn Motley, his best throw so far is 13.36 in his fourth throw. So let's see if he can improve on that. 12.55. No, so he doesn't improve on that, but he does go away with a 13.13 from this competition in 8th place.
All right, Caedmon Hawkins, he had a good solid throw of 13.49 in the previous round. Let's see how he can finish off his competition. $13.10, so that won't change the picture at all. But well done, Caedmon Hawkins. That'll be a 7th place for you.
With 13.49.
Good scream. Love that energy. Hano Nell, he threw a 14.30 just before. I think the scream's done the trick, and that looks like it's going to improve his picture. Is it going to be enough to match the 14.93 of Max Abbott? You've got to scream. I think this is the story we're learning. 14.58, so that's a good improvement. Won't change the standings, so Hano will go back to Napier with a good 6th place performance. Here we go, Max Abbott. Can he continue this improvement curve that he's shown throughout this competition? Started with 11.28. He's now at 14.93. What's this going to be? And he saves the measure some time with that one and finishes the day, but good solid 14.93. That has moved him up to 4th place. So Leicester Lee also, this is his final chance to see if he can sneak possibly into the medals, or can he sneak back that 4th place that he had. So he's got a best of 14.07. Is 14. Oh, the painful wait. 14.07. Well, we can definitely say he's consistent. 2:14.07s to finish off his day in 4th place. Was it 5th place? Now we are back to Cameron Moffat, sitting in 3rd place with that 15:12. Can he improve on that for his final throw in this shot put competition?
I just want to make a quick correction. Max Abbott is not a decathlete. He is just a multi-thrower.
Right. Okay. So the final throw there of Trent Hogg. So he's got that best, that wonderful throw in round 4 of 16.51. This is going to close. In fact, he extends that advantage in 2nd place. So 16.75 is where he'll finish. He'll be stoked with that to finish on that high. But this is your winner for the senior boys shot put competition. He won the hammer throw here. This is a victory lap, I want to say. So 17.79 in the previous round. That's his best. Gives it a big yell, has a big smile on his face at the same time. He steps that one out, saves the measurers a bit of time, but he's stoked. He's going to go home with 2 gold medals. Wow, the work that this boy's put in since last year, where he walked away with a 5th place. And that'll give some encouragement to these other guys in the top 8. If you're in that top 8, you're obviously a quality thrower, and next step could be on the top of that podium next year where this man is. You can see how much that means to him. That is awesome. Big props to all the throwers from Manarewa who have really stepped up this weekend. Must be a really good program down there, so shout outs to all you guys up there. And girls, they've got that new throwers sort of base there going in South Auckland, kind of, where is it? Anyway, they're making a throwers hub down there. Someone will be able to say more about it than I know. I was hoping you'd know. Someone tell us.
Yeah, no, sorry, I don't know about that. But I do kind of know what you're talking about, but I don't have any further details on that. But whatever they are doing there is actually clearly working. Like you said, we're seeing really strong throwers come out of Manureira. And one of the good things is that we're seeing them actually take clean sweeps. So.
Yeah. How cool was it yesterday with the hammer throw podium? Like 3 from one school. That's a rare feat in any event. I wonder, how often that's happened before. You ever seen it before at national secondaries?
No, not that I can remember, but the thing that's more impressive, or just as impressive, is that we're seeing it across such a technical event.
Yeah.
So, someone's up for Vasily and they're coaching, giving the technical advice and really getting the athletes on board and getting them on the right track, which is one of the hardest things to do, especially when we see them picking up things like hammer.
Yeah.
Neither of us are hammer throwers, or ever have been, probably never will be.
Yeah. I'd like to give it a go. It looks fun. Trouble is, I do get a little bit dizzy spinning, so it's that spinning thing that would
My problem is that I still can't think about which way I would be turning. Would it be rotating left or right? I've had this conversation with Julia Radcliffe on many occasions, but for some reason I still can't figure out which way you'd be going.
Yeah, you just need to do a few little practice runs. Maybe you'd be an ambidextrous, just go depending which way the wind's going. And for those who haven't caught up with the news, Lauren Bruce has been on fire this season with 2 New Zealand records. I think she beat her own record. Yeah, automatic qualifier.
Qualify for the Olympics, I believe.
Yeah. So that's awesome.
Yes, that's awesome.
With Julia as well in the mix.
And then our 3 yesterday in the hammer throw.
Yeah. It's so cool. All right, so are we going to take a short little bit break, and we'll be back at 10:30. So that is the 200 senior boys semis and some para semis as well. And then we've also got the 800s, the 3,000 walks, and of course the high hurdles to get through this morning on the track, plus all the field action. So be sure to tune in at 10:30. We'll catch you very shortly. I reckon you're going to be cropped out again. You only use my phone, so it's probably more reliable. No, 60 seconds, boys yourself like the whole lot. Imagine a shot putter just getting them standing. Going back in a bit,
We're not too far away from the next event on the track, which is the first of our big finals on the track here today, being the junior boys 3,000 metres. We have 11 starters. Meanwhile, over the junior girls high jump there, we see they're at 155. That will start to thin the field out. The starters for the 3,000 are Nick Davies from Westlake Boys, Fenland Bailey, Nelson College, Ian Pugh, Bethlehem College, Joshua Jordan, St Patrick's, Christian DeVale from Maclean's College, Scott Manning, New Plymouth Boys High, High Wynyard, Kaiapoi High School, Cameron Maunder from Westlake Boys High, Elliot Pugh from Bethlehem College, Luke Johnson, Christchurch Boys High, and Jamie Morra from Auckland Grammar.
Just as they go down the back straight, Christian DeVale, Maclean's College has just gone to the front, then there's a couple of Westlake Boys High, and it's Maunder from Davies on the inside, and Wynyard on the outside from Kaiapoi High School, the first four. Jamie Mora in 5th position. So Duval in front. 6 laps to go. Just a further call now for the Wellington Diocesan School Manager, please, for the TIC tent. It's called urgent. That's not your name, but just urgently. We want the manager, please, for the Wellington Dio School to the TIC tent. No change in the order of the next round, and we've got Duval in front from Maunda, by Wynyard in 3rd and Davies in 4th with Mora in 5th position. We go out in Indian Fire. We will be doing a medal presentation on the completion of this event that's currently on the track. Slight change there with a couple of 200 metre mark. Moore has gone into 4th position.
An update for you from the junior boys triple jump. First place currently we have Adam Paranini from Krofsky High, 12 metre 77. Jared Yee from Kilnui College, 12.61. And in 4th we have Zal Tijerina from Wellington College, 12.42.
Duval in front, to Westlake boys forward, change again. Wynyard back in the 3rd position, Davies in the 4th, and Moore in 5th position as they put inject a bit of pace into it, but Moore says I'm going round them again. And he's put himself up in the 3rd place, so Moore from Auckland Grammar. Slightly short of stature there, but he's in 3rd place. In front is Duval. Wynyard 4th and Davies in 5th position. Next medal presentation will be the junior boys discus. We'll go to the completion of this event. The 5 of them have really decided to stretch themselves out. Where the metre mark. But they're chopping and changing all the time. Wynyard's going to have a bit of pace and go back into that 3rd position from 4th. But they're letting Christian Duval break the breeze, lead the way. It all counts at the finish line, doesn't it? Duval from Maunda, Wynyard, Mora, Davies. Davies just slightly dropping off the 2nd Westlake Boys College, Boys High School. So the 5 is sort of getting 2 laps to go.
I don't eat,
Front,
like I'm not a sweet
second
tooth, so
position.
I always get savoury, so sorry.
On the outside of them there is Mortar from Auckland Grammar and Wynyard. Davey's just dropping away a little bit. Call now for the senior boys shot put medalist Liam Nochuk Wolf, Trent Hogg and Cameron Moffat. If you can come to the medal tent please right away and do your medal presentation. The junior boys discus will be on completion of this race, and there's a bit of pace going on. Those 4 are still hanging in together. In front of Maunda, sat on the shoulders all the way. Wynyard, just dropping back a fraction. Mora, Duval, coming in to get the lap, the bell lap. Maunda just coming up on the shoulder of Duval. Duval's still there, but Maunda, lap to go, getting the bell lap. Maunda, Duval says, well, you can't have that, I'm going to chase you. And the pace has gone into it. Wynyard in 3rd position, and Mora just dropping off slightly with Davies in 5th position. Duval on the outside. Maunda says, no, you can't, and he's going up on the outside there now, and we've got the blonde locks of Duval. You can see them out the back. On his inside, Maunda. They're just passing the last runner there, who let them go through. The race is on in earnest with 200 metres to go, and we've got Maunda on the inside, Duval on the outside. Ladies and gentlemen, cheer them on. 3,000 metres, junior boys. Duval on the outside, Maunda. Oh, here it goes, 50 metres to run. And we've got the long legs of Maunda. He's decided he wants the gold medal for the 3,000 boys junior. He's got it. Cameron Maunda from Christian Duval, and in the 3rd position is Wynyard from Carboy College. Well done boys, a great run. A bit of time for you shortly. Great to see a close finish after 3,000 metres. Hard work just watching it, I think.
That looked brutal.
No bit of advertisement for this than trying to the bandy legs. It's amazing, eh? The power of the mind.
So they're just coming out from the junior boys discus medal presentation, and Pat Hellier, who's been on the microphone for the field events during the course of the last 2.5 days. Thank you to you, Pat, for your announcing the field events. You're now doing a presentation, good on you.
They've got these bouncers that just actually throw bodies out the way. Yeah, so they've got about 10 of these big, really football players.
So in 3rd position for the junior boys discus is Harrison McGregor from Aquinas College. He's the last athlete come through on the 3,000 metres. The silver medal to Liam Pavia from New Plymouth Boys High. The distance there was 52.59 and Harrison's was 52.31. And the gold medal goes to an ex-player penny boy, Andre Gunderson from Parapara-Umu in 53.36. Well done guys. So just a further call for Liam Nochuk Wolf from Manaroa High, Trent Hogg and Cameron Moffat for your, be prepared for your. Righto, they're all there, those boys, so just try and get this medal presentation for the next event on the program.
Yeah. That's what
Whilst they come out, Maunder's time was 8:52.50 and Duval's time was 8:53.09. High Wynyard back a little bit, 8:59.56, so three of them broke the 9 minutes. Do this next medal presentation, as they're putting the hurdles out. Senior boys shot put, 5 kilogram shot.
Sort of the first bend.
That seems pretty heavy to me. In third position, Cameron Moffat from Otago Boys High in the distance of 15.12 metres. The silver medal to Trent Hogg from Southland Boys, 16.75. We're down in the deep south, Otago famous for its wines. And the gold medal to Liam Nochok Wolf from Manarova High School in the distance of 17.79 metres. Bar is a 1.58 over here for junior girls. High jump. The next event on the track is the 80 metre girls junior hurdles. Event 706 in your program, due to start 10:15.
My mum's South African, so I'd love to go. She lives
yeah, but it's just a numbers game. There's 5 million Kiwis, 55 million.
He said he lives 25 minutes away, so I told him there was no parking, so he's going to park in town.
She just couldn't believe that we were around without like anywhere else in the world, everyone's got hands
Okay, they're starting to get across to the first semi. The junior girls 80-metre hurdles. Eliana Collins, Wakatipu High School in 1, Kerry Rennie in 2 from Whanganui High School, Cleo Loda, Rangitoto College in 3, Grace Winewski, St Peter's School in 4, Olivia Ellis from Taieri College in 5, Georgia Gibbons, Queen's High School in 6, Elizabeth Peters, Diocesan School for Girls in 7, and Alice Fissenden from Christchurch Girls High School. Make up the first semi of the junior girls 80-metre hurdles. It's always intriguing really, the hurdles. I used to like doing that myself, but I couldn't understand when you run down the straight, nothing in your way. It was actually harder when you've got something in the way. Well, you've got to get over it, don't you? So let's look at it positively. Makes you look at things in a different perspective.
So the black market, my rate is black market. So normal beer it's fully wrapped. We're right at 4. Because they think like you get subjugation of the rest, they think alcohol security, social gathering, families living in one house.
Underway there, we've got Rennie, Loader, Winooski, Dallas, Gibbons, Peters, Fissenden, and it's Loader, Winooski. And that's Loader, lane 4, Winooski, Loader. Oh, gee whiz. I think Winooski, and we've got a wee fall there. Can we have somebody to the finish line, please? No, she's up and over. Fantastic. Full winded. So there it was, the first semi. A little bit of an incident-packed event right at the start and the finish. But in the middle there, Grace Winooski from St Peter's School first, Cleo Loader second. The camera will pick up that third position.
For a fixed camera. You mind? Send you out there, it's fun. Yeah. So you will officially be now known as camera 3. Welcome aboard.
Thank you. And
So you'll be up in the field, like it starts at 200s, and I'll move you around.
So Winooski's time there, 12.38. Cleo Loader in a time of 12.65. Olivia Dallas Tyree College was in third place at 12.92. Followed by Georgia Gibbons, Queen's High School, 13.19.
And Emil will give you a run over. The cameras are Sony Z90, really easy to use. Sony Z90, yeah, super easy, all on auto. Yeah. And they behave themselves.
Emil,
Camera, you see where those
this is Lynn. Camera 3. Yeah, and Sam.
see where those white cones are?
Yeah.
That's camera 3 there. You see on the left? It's got a Hollywood receiver. Just put that on and slap in the screen. And you're ready to rock and roll.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, perfect. So the first event is 200, so you'll be on the start. So
Coming back?
we're back in about 10 minutes.
Do you want to maybe Emil or someone? Do you want to go down with them now? Yeah, do that now.
Slap on some sunscreen.
So if those medal winners for the 3,000 boys, they come back to the medal tent, please, right away. Yeah, so looking for Maunda, Duval and Wynyard for your medal presentation, please. And as announced earlier, after each of the races as the day goes on, please stick around for your medal presentation. Get them done as soon as possible after the event. But with them in the red colours there, Van Ruin from Westlake Girls in lane 4 on her inside there, and lane 3 is Herman, Olivia Herman. So Taylor Van Ruin, Olivia Herman, and I think it was Caitlin Keith-Chin in third place from St Kenny's College. Let's see what happens. Second semi-final of the junior girls, 80 metre hurdles.
I do. Just hand it up to,
Now for a helping hand to remove those hurdles off the track, and Talia Van Ruin, Westlake Girls High School, in a time of 12.27. Olivia Herman, Villa Maria College, 12.65. Caitlin Key Chin, and Kenniganton, 12.80. First three home under 30 seconds. Next event on the track, boys trying to beat a junior semis, 2 semi-finals. And hopefully we get that medal presentation before that event starts with the junior boys 3,000 metres. Looking for Cameron Maunder, Christian Duval and High Wynyard for your medal presentation. Junior boys 3,000 metres. The medal case, please.
We're in round 6 for the junior boys triple jump. Currently leading, we have Pavan Karanigi from Pukekohe High on 13 metres and 3 centimetres.
Just an announcement, please. Those athletes, if you've won a race, earned a medal, you deserve it, don't disappear, please. We want you there. So Cameron Maunder, Christian Duval, High Wynyard, to the medal tent right away, please. Urgent call. Team managers, make sure this happens. We want to present the medals as soon as possible after each event. You don't need to go to Otamotai to warm down, just stick around. So the next event is the start of the 200 metre semis. The first event there, 2:03. Going to start in a couple of minutes, so we're right on time. First semi, Lex Merson Body from Napier Boys High in 1, Kanye Rapana, Thames High in 2, Joseph Nash in 3, Liam McKellar in 4, Max Stringer in lane 5, Logan Woods in 6, Caden Taylor in 7, and Jax Sadler in lane 8. First semi. With the record being held by Mark Cadell from St Bede's College back in 1990 at 21.52. Further reminder to the team managers to make sure you've got your relay teams, 4x100 metre relay sheets into the TIC tent before midday. an hour and a half.
Oh dear. I'm fine at the moment, but potentially later on. Oh, I'm fine at the moment.
Just know that I have it.
Yeah, that's good to know. Oh no.
A further call for Cameron Maunder, please. Your medal presentation, your gold medal. Great race, but it's all about getting the medal after the race and us acknowledging you for that great effort. The other two boys are there, Duval and Wynyard, so we really are chasing Cameron Maunder. Come on, mums and dads and caregivers, don't let these children disappear on us. We really want to present them with their medals as soon as possible after the event. Underway in the first semi of the 200, Muslim body on the inside, Rapana, Nash, McKellar, Stringer, Woods, Taylor and Sadler. The middle of the track there from Rangitoto College, Liam McKellar on his outside, Stringer on his inside, Nash. And right on the very outside here, Jack Sadler. Again on the inside. It is a semi, in lane 4, it's Liam McKellar from Joseph Nash and Jack Sadler in third position. Lee McKellar's time there, it's 23.48, Joseph Nash at Christ College and the time of 23.59. Jack Sadler at King's College in 23.93. Fourth position there from Aquinas College, Max Stringer, 24.22. We'll get the semi-final, the second semi-final, then there'll be a medal presentation. Elgar on the inside, Kowalski in 2, Henderson in 3, Pettingell Brand in 4, Doubleday in 5, Kennedy in 6, Ward in 7, and McFeely in lane 8. They're underway. Let's have a look at it. Elgar, Henderson, Pettingell, Brand, Doubleday in lane 5, Kennedy in 6, down in lane 3 is Henderson. Right on the very outside is Ethan Martulli. I'm not sure, though I think he's got it covered, but in lane 4 we've got Asher, and the third place is going to be close. And the white colours in lane 6, Forbes, Kennedy, and but the winner Ethan Martulli, or Asher Pettingell Brandon. So the second heat of the junior boys 200 metres, Asher Pettingell Brand from Christchurch Boys High, the time of 23.13. Ethan Lartuli from Old Rewa College, 23.33, and Paul Kennedy, Palmerston North Boys High, and those white colours on the outside, 23.58. In that fourth position, I'll get it for you. Might be Doubleday actually, they're both James Doubleday and Paul Kennedy. Both at the same time. So we'll call it a dead heat, but they were third and fourth collectively. So the next medal presentation is the 3,000 metres, and presenting the medal is Peter Maunda, the grandfather of the gold medal winner in Cameron Maunda. And as he comes across, the third position goes to Pai Wynyard from Kaiapoi High School in the time of 8:59.56. Peter presenting there as the past president of the New Zealand Athletics Association. The silver medal to Christian Duval, who made a very good race of it, led for most of the time, but just not quite at the finish. From McLean's College in a time of 8:53.09, and the winner is Peter's grandson in Cameron Maunda. A very auspicious occasion from Westlake Boys High in a time of 8:52.50. Very proud moment there for you, Peter. Well done.
An update for the junior boys triple jump. That event has now finished, and we had a huge last round jump by Kalen Karanamihi from Pukekohe High, 13 metres 56. Jared Lee was in second place from Kuranui High School or College, 12.78, and we had Levi Murdoch from Christchurch Boys, 12.63.
We've just cleared the high jump bar for the junior girls. They go into their blocks at the 200 metres. First semi of the seniors, Betty on the inside, Calder Cass, Ethan Wallace, Zachary Saunders, Will Chun, Matthew Roger, Jordan Toy, Kane DeBreeze. Let's have a look as they turn in the middle in the blue colours there from Botany Downs College. Zachary Saunders on his outside, no down on his inside. I think it's going to be second place, and that's Ethan Wallace, although it's going to be close. Yes, I think Wallace got in there for second, and lane 6 then was Matthew
that was
Roger
the senior boys too.
Yeah.
Wairarapa College.
Zachary Saunders and then Ethan Wallace, I think.
Zachary Saunders, Botany Downs College, takes out their first semi for the senior boys 200 metres. Leave that second. So Zachary Saunders' time there, 22.84. Very good. Record held by Cody Harmon here from Mount Maunganui College at a time of 21.39 back in 2011. So Zach Saunders here, 22.84. Ethan Wallace was second, 23.19 with Matthew Roger in third place from Wairarapa College, 23.21.
Well, kia ora and welcome everyone back to the coverage of Sunday morning. This is the big day at the New Zealand Secondary Schools Track and Field Champs. This is where we're just chocker full of finals, but before we get to the finals, we have some very important semi-finals to get through. So we've just had the first of the senior boys 200-metre semis, so one of two semi-finals. So remember, we just had the 100 semis earlier this morning. So we can tell you Zachary Saunders was the winner of the first semi-finals in 22.84. Ethan Wallace came through in second place, 23.19, and Matthew Roger in 23.21. Jordan Toy was fourth place in 23.32, so that's one of the key times to keep an eye on. Will Chun with a 23.33. Ethan Caldecass in sixth place, 23.54. Tex Beatty in seventh, 23.99. And Kane DeVries from Hawera in 23.99. So very close racing there. So we do need to keep an eye on those second qualifying times of 23.32 and 23.33. Here we go. Semi-final number 2. Jack Stalker, Tom Sullivan, Max Brebner, Angus Lever, Edward Osei, Nikitia, Tyron Traeger, Henry Palmer, Joeli Vinacardina. Here we go. So it is lanes 5 and 4. Angus Lever and Edward Osei Nikitia are going to pick up the first two of those autos. Who got the third? I want to say maybe Max Brebner, but Portia Bing, that was close for that third auto qualifier.
Yeah, you're definitely really close there. I was actually just watching the two guys there at the front. Just looking at it, just cruising and slowing down, knowing they've done what they needed to do. There was a little bit of a race going on there coming off the bend, and I thought, oh, you know, someone's going to get up there and challenge Eddie, but no, they knew what they needed to do, and I was like, it's going to be quite interesting coming into that final, because we knew that Eddie ran the 100 this morning, and so did a couple of other guys run 100 this morning, and just going back to semi-final 1 there, we do know that Zachary, who won that, also has a 300-metre hurdle final between between the final as well, so it's going to be a really big day for these guys today.
Totally, and the temperatures are warming up now. This is nice sprinting conditions. Looking at the flags at the moment, wind's looking like it may have died down a bit. It's quite pleasant out there. I went and grabbed my coffee and a little break, and it was feeling nice. So it is good conditions for sprinting. Up next, we're going to cover some para 200s, and on the field, the action that's going to be coming is the girls' hammer senior. I'm not sure if we're going to pick up any coverage of that. It's just on the outside field. But the boys' high jump final, senior boys, and the girls' long jump final as well. So the other two keys that we're going to keep an eye on in the field. Got 32 women lining up in that long jump senior final, and 23 boys in the senior boys' high jump, and also 21 in the senior girls' hammer throw. So again, really stacked fields. Now in this, the first of the para heats. These will be the finals for the 200s.
Third and final attempt at the site for Pippa Dixon from Te Awamutu.
So earlier this morning we had a great shot put competition with the senior boys with Liam, and I do need to correct myself because I've been calling him Knock Wolf all weekend long. Liam Knock Wolf. It is Liam Nachok Wolf. So I stand to be corrected. I saw him walking along through the grandstand, went and grabbed him. Liam, how do you pronounce your last name? Correct me. And so Nachok. So hit me up, everyone, if I slip and get it wrong in future. But Liam's had a fantastic weekend. He won the gold yesterday in the hammer, picked up the gold medal, and he was so stoked. He was jumping around, dancing, high-fiving all his teammates after that shot put, and he's got the discus lined up for this afternoon as well. So let's see if he can do the clean sweep.
Yeah, big weekend there for Liam. One of the most exciting things, I think, as well. He's he's coming through really nice through the ranks. Like you said, last year we saw him sitting in around that 5th position. This year he's come through to take out the win. So it's going to be really exciting to see him get into the senior ranks next year. Hopefully we'll see him a bit over the summer season athletics and be able to get a bit of coverage of it in those big meets coming up this year outside of the school.
Totally.
I'm talking about, so. Yeah,
And
exciting
for
times.
those, if you're wondering how the season works, like if you're just used to following high school athletics, basically the season really opens up late January and goes through with the Classic Series. So we kind of dot around the North Island with Porritt Classic in Hamilton, Capital Classic in Wellington, Cook's Classic in Wanganui, Potts Classic in Hastings. So they're kind of the big classics. We've also got the Graham Douglas meet, which is sort of late February, and then the Hawke's Bay is the big one for the national champ. So we have under 18s, under 20s, and seniors lining up for that one in early March. But the next one next weekend, and we're going to be live with Sky Sport Next from the Millennium Stadium on the North Shore for the Night of Fives. So that's a really big one. We have a bunch of guys hoping to go for a 5,000 metre qualifier for the Olympic Games next year. So that'll be going out on Olympic qualifying pace, so they'll be really fascinating, and also a really classy 800 metre fields in the women and the men for that. So next Friday evening, tune into Sky Sport Next. Make sure you hit that subscribe button on your YouTube app. Get all those notifications. Stay up to date with what's happening in athletics. And of course, you can watch all this stuff on replay. It's not just live, so go back and find all those times we've mispronounced names.
Go back and watch yourself as an athlete, have a look, analyse what you've been doing. One of the most exciting things as well is being able to share those experiences that you've had here at the National Secondary Schools with your families and your friends, with your grandparents, all those people that couldn't be down here. I definitely know it's one of those things that we didn't have when I was at school, so it was normally an old video from the video cam. They had to send to my grandparents every time they couldn't come down, but now just, get over there, the house, set it up for them.
Totally.
All right, we do have our para-athletes here lining up. So this is going to be their final in the 200. I believe it's multi-class para.
Yeah, so good to have a full complement of wheelchair athletes lining up. I'm trying to find the start list for this. I don't know if you've got that in front of you.
But we do know we have Gabby right there in 5.88. Jaden is there just in the middle. I'm not 100% sure who this athlete closest to us.
45 minutes before your event time. For the field event,
so we do have a mixed class of para-athletes coming through as well. So also one of the interesting things, I've been having a chat to a couple of the para-athletes, trying to understand, what they're looking for, and they're all their different stages. Quite a few of them are just new to the sport as well this year. So we know that a lot of them have had the opportunity with ParaFed to pick up a few new sports and stuff and just try them out. And one of the interesting things that I have found out as well is that not all these athletes yet have their own personal chairs yet. So every chair is specialised. So same way as you think about a triathlete with a bike. Yeah. So you've got to get it fitted and things like that. But if you're just starting a triathlon, you might not necessarily own your own bike. You might borrow someone's bike. So for a lot of these athletes as well, the exciting thing for them is that they're out here at Nationals. They don't necessarily have the top of the range gear yet that they need, but they're still able to get out here, compete. And we know that they're only going to get better as the equipment becomes available to them as well. So there's quite a few different elements as well that they've got to consider, especially in the 200. Navigating around that bend is something that's really tricky. So
tricky.
Yeah, so one of the things I think we're going to be looking for today for these athletes as well is not just navigating around the bend, but how are they going to navigate that crosswind that we are seeing coming straight into that, kind of coming into maybe the 100 metres, so just coming off the edge of the bend, the last 120 metres.
Halfway around that bend, you'll have it right in your face, eh?
And that's a point for a para-athlete in the wheelchairs, almost the same as you have when you're long hurdling, and you've actually got to reposition yourself to come down that home straight. So there's that extra element today that's going to be a little bit challenging for them, but nevertheless, exciting to see some great racing.
Absolutely, and it is one of those technical things. You talked about turning your corner. Of course, you're using your arms to drive the wheels, so what do you have to steer the thing with? So you'll actually see them flick a little switch, and that's to adjust the alignment of that front wheel, front axle, and make sure that they're hitting the curve at the right angle. But like you say, if there's wind playing a factor as well, then it does make it a little bit tricky. So it is one of those technical events where getting to understand the equipment is as much a part of it as the training itself.
Yes, I'm just having a look. The lanes are 1.2 metres wide as well. So you think about that, you've got a lane that's only 1.2 metres wide. That's the biggest. I guess one of the first things that we see a lot of these para-athletes needing to learn is how to actually navigate in such a small lane. I do know from training-wise, you'll see a lot of the para-athletes, and all they do is they spend the first, few months of their careers just going round and round and round in circles, similar to a long-distance runner, but purely just to get that feel of, one, the rhythm of actually being able to use their arms and time, and two, being able to navigate themselves around and stay in their lane. So it's definitely a big skill there. There's a lot of skill to learn, so we will see a lot of our young para-athletes come up through the ranks, and we'll start to see them come into national maybe in their mid-20s once they've had a few years behind them, but nevertheless we do see some of the athletes such as Jaden who are already out there doing amazing things. I've
got to say, one of my most exciting live sporting events that I've ever been to was the 2012 Paralympics in London, and the 5,000 metre men's wheelchair race was absolutely electric. The stadium in London was packed, and it was a British-based wheelchair athlete who won with a big kick. But it's like a cycle race, because those long-distance events, you're out of the lanes, so then you've got passing going on, you've got people sitting in slick streams. It's incredibly exciting to watch. So Paralympics next year, make sure you mark in your calendars when those key wheelchair races are, because they're incredible to watch.
Yeah, and definitely keep an eye out for our athletes out here today, because you never know, 2024 we could be seeing some of our athletes. Most para-athletes start off through the school ranks as well. Like we said, it's about learning the sport, and we do see a lot of them basically starting from scratch and building their way right up into the international ranks as well. So make sure you're keeping an eye out on some of those names that we're seeing today for the future.
So speaking of names, let's go through this list of the senior long jump starters as they're getting warmed up, going through, getting used to this little runway here. So Kaylee Tui Ravi of Tauranga Girls, Meg Blanchfield, Emma McKay of St Hilda's, Gabrielle Abraham, Morgan Udemans of Roncalli, Giselle Howard of John Paul College, Caitlin Feather of Rangiora, Sadie Kaipara Morrison of St Peter's, Keela Cashmore of Whanganui, Alice Taylor of St Paul's, Gina Maples of Whanganui, Sam McKinder of Palmerston North, Tessa Baird of Verdon College, Charlotte Drabel of Mount Maunganui, Harriet Whitfield of Wellington, Hannah Riley of St Kentigans, Arwin Solomon of Ormiston, Katie Bestel of Sacred Heart, Charlotte Print of Westlake Girls, Lara Hopley of Hawera, Sarah Langsbury of St Hilda's, Gracie Pratton of Cashmere High School, Bernice Cullen of Northern Southland, Lusungu Mbambo of Ashburton, Sophie Miller of Otago. We're almost there, ladies and gentlemen. Yasmin Kristen Hales of Whanganui College, Grace Penberthy of King's College, Alexa Broadley of Queen Margaret, Rosie Neal of Motueka, Margaret Johansson of Bethlehem College, Olivia Kame of St Peter's School. 32 athletes lining out in this senior girls long jump competition, and bright sunshine here at Tauranga on the final day of athletics. I'm always sad when it's the final day of the competition.
Yeah, it's definitely one of those things that's gone quite fast for us, I feel.
I know.
I really feel like we've just kind of whizzed through the first 2 days, but the exciting thing is that today we're looking at down the barrel of all the finals for everything. So it's going to be a pretty jam-packed day, and by the looks of it, the athletes are ready to go. The crowds are packing in. All the schools, the athletes have already finished, just
totally.
Yeah, getting in here to support their mates.
And this is a really key moment, because for a lot of these athletes, this will be the final time they ever put on their school jersey, their school singlet. So it can be a really emotional time. The last weekend, you'll hang out with all these friends as you'll kind of go your separate ways. So for those watching who are here this weekend, make the most of it. Make sure you enjoy the day. Get out for a good celebration dinner at the end of this. But here we go, set and ready to get this first heat of the Para 200 finals rolling.
So it's a multi-class race here. This is a straight final.
In 4, Woolly in 5, and Mobile out in lane 7.
Yeah, so unfortunately we don't have a start list for this one. Oh, is it Corin Hanning, Zachary Orbell, Jackson Woolley and Jaden Mulvold? And maybe Jack Lewington in there as well.
Third and fourth, very close. Very close.
Apologies to those athletes if we've missed anyone.
Lewington.
Yeah, Jack Lewington was definitely there.
Your mate come home, Jaden Mobile.
So Jackson Woolley there of Waido Valley.
Yeah, so I've seen Jackson training around a lot at the Millennium. Trains very, very hard. I've seen him out there grinding out the 300s, doing the repetitions. So he's been training really hard. So it's really great to see him out there actually racing.
Yeah, looking comfy in the 200.
Yeah, definitely great form as well. I noticed that, even coming down on that home straight where the fatigue starts to hit in and you're losing the technique and the head start going, he just looked really solid coming in that home straight. Just kept ticking over. Obviously he's done all the hard work already and he knew it was all there, so it was a nice, easy race for him.
Jackson, Corin Hanning, second position.
There we go. So Jackson Woolley, very fast 27.33. Corin Hanning, solid 30.49 for his 200. And Zachary Orbell came through in third. But remember how we gauge these para mixed competitions is it's done on percentage of world records. So that's in your class. So that's how we'll work out, have a good comparison to each other. So Zachary Orbell with a 32.22, Jaden Mulvold getting up to speed, coming through for a 38.49 as he came through that stiff headwind in the top straight, the top bend, sorry.
Yeah, and one of the things that we will see is that as those athletes come through for the medal ceremony, we will be able to give you the full results and how they their percentage of the world record as well. So we'll be able to give those full results a little bit later on.
So here we've got another para 200, which I believe it's Jacob Mawson running in lane 3, Melvin Andrews in lane 4, and in lane 5 wearing number 1063 just on screen there, Josh Taylor from Wairarapa College. So running a good strong bend there is that Jacob?
Yep, Jacob coming through really nicely there. It's giving a really, really nice form there.
Yeah, so Jacob coming through. He's going to finish in about 26 high, 27 low. And then Josh Taylor coming through, and did Melvin Andrews just dip under 30 seconds? Mighty close.
Senior boys, T20.
So it looks like the weather conditions have really picked up for the athletes down there. It looks like it's a really nice tailwind going on down on the back straight there. We don't have any wind readings, unfortunately, but one of the things I did notice for those athletes as well is almost as they came, they whipped off the bend, they came into that straight, they really opened up and just kind of found really nice form to, use that that momentum off the bend to make it home. In fact, they look like they're actually speeding up. Just really getting into it. So great race by those boys there.
And conditions are, I reckon, improving. The leaves on the trees are barely moving. There's a little flutter, but the flags are also barely moving. So I think we're in for a very good day. And I'm looking at the harbour. There's no white caps or anything. So we're going to have a very exciting afternoon of athletics as we get into really the business end of the weekend with so many finals to come. We've got these para finals in the 200s, but really from now till 5 o'clock, the action comes thick and fast. We throw out medals left, right and centre. This is where all those rounds, the 4 rounds of the 100 metres and 200 metres come to fruition. We find out finally who the finalists are, and we get to hand out some medals. So moving into the mixed para 200 female finals. Now, I can tell you that we've got Sonan Murphy of Carmel, Patricia Walsh of Barradine, Gabrielle Wright of Pakuranga, Sarah James of Avonside, and Gina Hill of Carmel.
Right, we see the athletes take their marks here. These athletes actually have been training all year for this. So I've seen most of these athletes out on the track day in, day out in the rain. So they'll be looking to get some great times out there today. It's great conditions for these athletes as well to be getting those PBs.
So Patricia Walsh gets off to a good start, and Shannon Murphy as well, just next to her in lanes 2 and 3. We saw Gina Hill on screen getting into that tough headwind on the bend, but running through our Patricia Walsh, our single leg amputee there.
Looking really comfortable, moving right through across the line.
Yeah, great run in 34 seconds, and Shannon Murphy also coming through with a good solid 200 metres, and on the outside is...
We have Gina coming through as well as Gabby just coming through. Gabby really starting to gain a bit of momentum down there on the home straight.
Gina Hill from Carmel College, she'll win her event there in the para, multi-class para of the seniors. Well done to all of you.
Yeah, so a great race by those girls. They're really, really, really great race. One of the things that I really do like is that we can understand that, like I said, a lot of these athletes are new to athletics as well. So it's really great to see them out there actually racing. They've been training, like I said, all year. I've seen them out there every Saturday morning, training hard. They've got really great groups of them training up at the Millennium. So if there is any athletes out there that are pretty interested, and getting into track and field, there's some great opportunities in track and field. There's great coaches, and there's really, really large groups of para athletes as well. So definitely get in touch with your local athletics club.
Yeah, absolutely.
Patricia Walsh's time there from Barradine College.
So Patricia Walsh came through in 34.16. Simon Murphy 36.54. Sarah James 47.09, and Gabrielle Wright 56.06. I'll pick up Gina Hill's time shortly as that filters through from our timekeepers.
So that was a multi-class para event. So all our athletes there are in different classes. So we'll have to wait till the full results get calculated and wait till they get their medals to be able to let you know what the full result there was. We're going Gina Hill's time just coming through there, 57.21.
Gina Hill from Carmel College, her time was 57.21 in the senior multi-class para 200 metres.
All right, so next up on the track will be at 11:08. We're scheduled to kick off with the first of our senior finals today on the track. So that will be your 800-metre girls and boys from 11, just after 11. And then we've got the race walks, and then we go into the high hurdles, and that'll round off the action on the track for the lunch. But we also have a senior girls long jump competition and a senior boys high jump competition. Is that started yet?
No, so we're still at the junior girls high jump in the bars at 180. So definitely jump online if you want to follow that competition. 180 is actually really getting up there for the junior girls.
Totally.
I do believe this is the junior girls that are still out there.
Yeah, so they started at 9 a.m. So the fact that they're still going shows the bar must be high.
Yeah, I just saw the scoreboard at the moment. So 180 for the junior girls, and I can let you know that's the height that I jumped when I was at the World Champs for multi-events.
Wow.
180 was
That's pretty impressive.
Yeah, so that goes to show you the quality of junior athletes. So hopefully we'll see that roll through to the senior women's high jump next year as well. It'll be pretty exciting. And we just have our para athletes here from our 200.
Yeah, I'm not sure if this is the 200s. I was scanning through trying to find the...
First to the start of the 800-metre finals, the girls junior.
So, Kelly James of Tauranga and Fergus Aitken maybe, of Tauranga Special School. So well done to those local boys. I believe that might be the 100s from earlier this morning.
Awesome work. So what are you looking forward to this afternoon? What's going to be the...
It's like, what am I not looking forward to? I don't know, maybe the heat how hot this commentating box is going to get, because it's going to be toasty. Like, I was looking at the medals that we need to hand out today. We have on the track the 100s, 200s, 400s, 800s and 1500s. Both the hurdles, the 100 and 110 hurdles and the 300 hurdles and the steeples. We've got both high jump, senior girls, senior boys. We've got the senior girls long jump, which is happening now. Shot put, we've just had senior boys discus throw to hand out. We've got the walks, and we've got the 4x1s and 4x4s. Far out. It's going to be an absolute massive morning.
Yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to a lot of the track events. I'm looking forward to the high jump as well. I know that it's kind of one of the events in New Zealand that goes a little bit under the radar, but I do know that in recent times, we're starting to have a lot of international athletes and athletes that are getting to that level as well. So it's going to be pretty exciting to see what's coming through the school ranks as well into that senior ranks. And one of the exciting things for the high jumpers today is that this is mint conditions for a high jumper. The wind has died down, it is warm, the track is warm, so I'm definitely going to stick around for that. But I believe we're going into the 800s in a minute.
Yeah, we're going to go into the 800s, and we've got Catherine Camp, who's just come into studio, who's going to help guide us through, understand what we're seeing on screen, and share some of her experiences. So, reigning... I'm right in saying you are the reigning national champion. I was confused whether you're the 1500 or the 800, but that's right. Reigning 800 metre national champ Catherine Camp joining us in studio just in time, because we are diving into the final of the 800 metres.
Junior girls final. Olivia Harler in 1, Molly O'Sullivan in 2, Billy Crow in 3. Sammy Pokes in 4, Abby Bolton in 5, Lucy Shannon in 6.
Well, welcome along, Catherine. How are you?
I'm excited. I love a good 8.
Yes, absolutely. So you should. And so you're obviously here, well, not obviously, but you've got a bit of involvement with one of the schools?
Yep, so I'm here with a Christchurch school, Rangiruru. So we have one girl in this junior race, actually. So
Kira Hall, out in lane 8. So let me run through the start list. Olivia Hala of Tauranga Girls, Molly O'Sullivan from Wellington Girls, Billy Crow of St Hilda's, Sammy Fuchs of Wakatepu, A.B. Bolton of Maclean's, Lucy Sheenan of Diocesan School for Girls, Maya Wilkinson of Wellington East, and of course, as you said, Kira Hall from Rangiruru out there in lane 8. This is the final. The record, coincidentally, is held by Rebecca McKennany of Rangatoto College from back in 2000. 2:09.73. We'll see. This is good conditions for 800 metre running.
This is perfect, and definitely a lot better wind-wise from the previous days. So hopefully, won't get hit in that top corner as hard today.
So this is a final. Remember, these girls have gone through three rounds. So 2 rounds already. You can see those green cones. That's your signal that you can merge into lane 1. And so talk us through this part of the race, because at the moment we've got number 1074, Sammy Fuchs taking it out nice and strong and about 29 high.
Yep, she's going hard there. She wants a good position, and she's doing well out on her own. That first part is just about getting into a good position, so she's done well there.
Now, do you think this would have been a game plan? Often we see more sort of 4-8 type runners go out hard from the start, looking to get the wheels moving nice and early.
Yeah, so she obviously wants it to be a faster race. She's probably feeling quite confident with her sprint as well, just because she's got a bit of wheels on her. But 63, that's
so 62
really
high,
good.
really good, solid class 400, nice and brave. So Sammy Fuchs taking it out strong, and then it's just the pack really with Abby Bolton, the first of those chasers, hoping to reel her in, and this is where it gets tough. Like the back straight of an 800 metre, there's not much harder positions in the world of athletics than that back straight. So
this is where the mental game comes in. You've got to really keep focused this third 2, and then just make it to that 200 metre line, then you're on your way home.
So Sammy Fuchs goes through in 1:39, so a slight slow up in the pace, looks over her shoulder, coming into, there's a bit of a headwind as you come in that that top bend. Can she keep going? She needs to keep that pace going. Her legs are going to feel absolutely full of lead. Can the pack pick her up?
Yeah, she's done all the work there, so she's got to try really hard to hold on, get her arms moving.
So Abby Bolton of Maclean's College is chasing. On her shoulder, Lucy Sheenan, can she pick up a silver medal? But it is all about Sammy Fuchs. She led from the start. She's going to go home as the champ, 2:14. What a fantastic run. Catherine Camp.
Beautiful running.
Opening it up right from the start, backing herself. Solo effort, wins the national title. She falls to the ground, takes a rest, and so she should.
Yeah, you can tell she went out there with confidence and she really attacked it from the start, so I think she really deserved that.
The gold medal. Bridesmaid last year, but not this year.
There's something to be said for just getting out in an 800 and just running from the front, backing yourself.
Yep.
Maybe you've done a time trial at home knowing the sort of time that you could run, and laying it all on the line. What a gutsy run.
That was really gutsy, and she pushed all the way home too. Yeah, very impressive. Should be happy with that.
From Manurewa High School.
So before we get into the senior boys, let's talk through what it's like going through a weekend where you've got multiple rounds to get through. You know, what does the body feel like when you wake up on a Sunday morning? For you, it's probably normally a Saturday for the seniors, senior national champs. But yeah, how do you approach that morning when you know this is the big moment that you've been training for all year long, and how do you approach that day?
Yeah, it's definitely a long weekend for a lot of these athletes, and yeah, you just got to take it day by day, and in the morning maybe go for a wee jog to get the legs woken up. But yeah, you definitely start to feel it that third day. Just got to, get stuck in really and try and get the confidence back up. And
it does come back as soon as you kind of get moving. So I can confirm Sammy Fuchs 2:15 with the win. Abby Bolton 2:17. Strong kick down that home straight. Kira Hall in 2:18 picks up the third medal. Maya Wilkinson 2:20. Olivia Heller of Tauranga Girls 2:21. Molly O'Sullivan 2:21. And then in 7th and 8th place Billy Crow and Lucy Sheenan. So Billy Crow with a 2:23.
Great times there. 2:15 for a win, and even third place 2:18.5.
Absolutely, and I'm sure a lot of these girls will get the call up into the 4x4 team.
Oh yeah, Kira's already knows she's ready to rock.
All right, so we have our boys. This is the senior boys 800 metre final. This is crunch time for these boys. Liam O'Donnell, St. Thomas, Nicholas Alvarez, Ray Verrick of Logan Park, William Liang of Roncalli, Alex Martin of Wellington College, James Ford of King's College, James Trathan of Maclean's College, Thomas Cowan of Westlake Boys High, Callum O'Keefe of Lindisfarne College. Here they go.
Looks like they've all gone out pretty hard there.
Yeah, good to see. Almost a replication of the senior girls race. What are they going to go through that 200 split? 27.
Nice.
Woo! They have come here to run. Loving this, the pink headband. You're definitely here to run when you got the sweatband on.
Making a statement.
So Nicholas Alvarez, Ray Verrick from Logan Park has come out to set a good honest pace. Up on his shoulder is James Ford from King's College, but the pack's lining up.
They're all still in it.
Alex Martin running wide, getting up there on the shoulder. They go through at the bell at 58, so a slight slow up for that 200 metres, about 31 seconds for the leaders. But it's anyone's game at this moment. Oh, traffic. And that's one of those tricky situations where trying to pass on a bend, the pace had slowed down. You're trying to get back in the game, but good to see.
He's back on it.
Yeah, Liam O'Donnell took a fall, but he's back in the mix. So we've got three boys going wide. It is Callum O'Keefe.
So 130.
And here's James Ford making a really strong move at that 200 metre mark. James Ford pulling away into that stiff headwind. And just behind him is Alex Martin. So it is James Ford, Alex Martin, James Ford pulling away. Look at this great kick from James. It's going to be a solid time too. So James is going to pull away. Alex Martin will come through for second place.
Well timed that sprint too.
Takes it out the final for junior boys 800 metres. Amazing what another year does
And
in life.
after having to peel himself off the track, he got a feel for Liam O'Donnell, who tried to get himself out of a bit of traffic at the bell. But man, what a kick from James Ford.
Yeah, just coming off the bend, you can see he slingshotted off there and just finished really strong, got the arms pumping.
Medals to be presented by Chris Strange.
And
First place from
Catherine Kemp, you would have found yourself in a situation where you're running a 15 or an 8 where it gets really traffic heavy in those later stages, and you hear the bell and something clicks in everyone's minds that's go, go, go. But if you're in the pack, it can be really hard to have that patience to trust that a gap's going to open up.
Yeah, especially around that third two. Things start to get a wee bit messy. Pace changes and things maybe slow, maybe get a bit faster. So just got to be aware of what's around you, because it definitely can get a bit messy around there. And you're passing on the bend too. Gets very trafficy.
So confirmation, James Ford 158.32. After that kind of middle slowdown where we saw the traffic, Alex Martin from Wellington College 159.7. Callum O'Keefe just outside 2 minutes, 2:00.26. And James Trathan in the fourth place spot from McLean's in 2:00.97. Thomas Cowan of Westlake Boys 2:04.91. William Lang in sixth place, 2:05. And I think it was Nicholas Alvarez in seventh. After leading the pack for that first 300 or 400, comes through in a 2:05.95. And Liam O'Donnell having to pick himself off the track and still running a very solid 2:07.
Yeah, he did a good job getting back on the pack there and finishing strong, so well done.
So, Catherine, talk us through what your summer looks like. When are we going to see you open up on the track?
I'm hoping to start with the classics mid-January. So,
yep.
Timaru's got one on first, so I'll go and have a crack at a mile there.
Nice.
And then Potts is the big 8, so I know Camille's running there as well. So
awesome.
Should be a good race, and a couple other senior women there, so should be good.
Urbandale in 1, Kylie Ford in 2, Shallard in 3, Emma Douglas in 4, Brianna Lee in 5, Joanna Pollan in 6, Ferguson in 7, and Chloe Hughes as they break.
So I may have mentioned that earlier 800 that we showed was the senior girls. Of course, that was the junior girls that we had on screen. So this is Lily Ovendale of Christchurch Girls, Mayla Kyle Ford of Wellington East, Amanda Shellard of Craighead Dio, Emma Douglas of Wellington Girls, Brianna Lee of Napier Girls, Joanna Polland of Avondale College, Emma Ferguson of Wellington, Chloe Hughes of Rangirudu.
Still bunched at the moment. Everyone's in it.
On the outside, let's see what they're doing. So Emma Ferguson on the inside, Poland on the outside, and Brianna Lee right on the very outside.
69.
So it's Ferguson on the inside.
Might come down to a sprint for this one.
The pace is going on as they get the bell.
All right, so it's nice and bunched at the moment as they come through and get the bell. So they've gone through 500 metres now, and it's starting to stretch out now, so we'll need to get a cue on who's in the lead. So Joanna Polland is leading things out in first place, just stretching out this pack, but there's a lot of girls still in it. In fact, everyone's still there as we hit the 600. Now this is where things get tricky. They come around that corner, hit that headwind. It's a really exposed part of the track, and who's that going wide? Making a really bold move is Emma Douglas from Wellington Girls. That's a really bold move. She's really split apart this field. So Emma Douglas pulling away. Oh, that's heartbreaking, absolutely heartbreaking, but Emma Douglas was clear already, so she's going to come through and take the National Senior Girls title. Streaming away, here she goes. It's going to be an interesting battle for second and third. Just off the camera can tell you that Joanna Polland has just pulled through for the second place, but Emma Douglas...
What a finish. see her extend that stride out, 150 to go. She knew what she wanted to do.
Fantastic running. Wow, but heartbreaking at the just coming off the bend.
Yep.
Was that Amanda Shallard from Craighead Dio? Absolutely heartbreaking. Just got her heels clipped, and like we talked about, like
Just gets a
middle
bit messy
distance
around
events,
those corners.
There's a lot of traffic and tired bodies, so it's often hard to put your feet in the right position.
Yeah, technique struggles at that point. I know I've had a few last hundreds where I couldn't feel my legs, so easy to do. And
it's often no one's fault. It's just that there's a lot of bodies, a lot of limbs flying around, and like we say, tired bodies. So heartbreaking.
Presentation, Chris Strange presenting the gold.
So apologies, we did say that the others were the senior races, but of course they were yet to come. So all weekend long our programs have been slightly out of sync with what's been happening on the track, so we've sort of had to run by the seat of our pants to a certain extent, just trying to keep up with what's going on.
She's come up with Douglas Emma, but it's Emma Douglas. She knows that. I know that. Time of 2:14.19 and retains their title from last
So we
year.
can confirm the senior boys are yet to run, so they'll be coming up very shortly. And in lane 1 we'll have Charles Royal from Lindisfarne, Jed Thompson Fawcett from John McGlashan, Matt Gould from Westlake Boys, Josh Howe from John McGlashan, James Harding from King's College, Logan Cowie of St Kentigern's, Ruben Beard of Scots College, Luke Hitchcock of Maclean's College, and just confirming the podium of the senior girls through 800 was Emma Douglas in 2:14, Joanna Polland of Avondale 2:15, Brianna Lee of Anakya Girls, and Emma Ferguson just missing out on the medals in 4th place. So here we are, senior boys, 800 metres. This is the big final. This is where it all comes down after a weekend long of heats, semis, now the final. This is where we find out who's got it for the 2-lapper, and let's see how this unfolds. We've seen the other races go out pretty quick. They went through in about 28 at the 200, so that's quick, but everyone's bunched. Most of these boys will be comfortable at going through in about 28. They would have trained for this all year long, knowing that it's probably going to go out this quick, and it's going to plan so far with James Harding leading things out at the moment.
All looking quite comfortable coming around the bell. 60.
Yeah, so 60 flat, so that won't bother most of these guys in the pack. They'll be used to running 60-second quarters. And James Harding just kicking away, so he's your champion from last year, opening up a little bit of a gap as we go onto that back straight, so the pack needs to stay with him. He's really run a bold move.
Yep, he's made a statement there. He wants to pull away. He's looking really strong too down the back straight. It's coming up 200 to go.
Yeah, so that was a 27-second 200 metres, so you can see why these just opened up a huge gap.
Still looking really strong coming off the bend.
James Harding, this is going to be a fantastic 400 metres. We know he's got a good 400 metre time. He's already got about 10 metres on the pack, and leading that pack is Logan Cowie. Looks like he might have a second place, but they're having to run really wide in lane 4. But it is James Harding, two-time National Secondary Schools champion. Oh, more carnage on the track. These are some tired legs, tired bodies. Good to see.
That's when you know you've pushed it all the way.
Josh Howe, you can see how tired he must be. He ends up rolling over the track, and I hope he's okay because he looks like he might have hurt his head there. But James Harding, what a weekend, backs up his victory at this event down in Wellington with another victory, commanding victory.
Yeah, definitely. You can see his confidence from about 300 to go. He started making his move and extending out the lead there, and kept it going right the way through.
Oh, look at this. Now, that's not how you want to cross the finish line, rolling under the feet of one of your fellow competitors. But glad he's finished, glad he's okay, he's up and walking. But James Harding dropping a 55-second final last 400. That is incredible.
I wouldn't mind that.
Yeah. Incredible talent. So when we talk about one of the key names to watch, James Harding will be mixing it up with the seniors this summer. We've got a whole bunch of guys who are in that sort of low 50 terrain, and hopefully we will see the likes of Brad Mathis come back onto the track and hopefully throw out some sub 150 times.
Yeah, there should be some really good local racing coming up this season. So, yeah, it's very exciting, especially for Athletics New Zealand. So, yeah.
And really the big one for a lot of athletes will be next week, night of fives. We're not going to see you there, Catherine Camp, as we jump back to the long jump, senior girls long jump. We'll be getting into the thick of things. And I'm going to hand over to Portia Bing to take my place for a little. So I'll leave you in her capable hands. So thank you, Catherine Kemp, for joining us.
Pleasure.
All right, good afternoon. After taking a nice little walk around the track, I can tell you that the weather conditions out there are very, very warm. It's getting nice and toasty out there. The wind has definitely died down, so I'm pretty excited for these finals that we're heading towards. Especially, I am actually looking forward to the senior boys high jump, which is about to start with 23 people in the lineup. So coming up, we have the girls hammer throw senior, so I'm not 100% sure if we're going to be able to catch that. That is in the field, in the warm-up field away from the main stadium, so we'll let you know whether or not we'll be able to keep you in touch with that. Also, we have the senior boys high jump, the senior girls long jump is underway. We've just had the 800 metres. We're going into the senior boys, actually it's going to be open, I believe, the 3,000 metre walk open and the girls 2,000 metre walk open. So we have 5 contestants in the men's open walk and 8 women in the open 2,000 metre walk. So we will keep you up to date on how things are going there. In the meantime, I'm sure I will get somebody in studio to help you out. But there we go, there's our start list for the senior men's walk. So we have Daniel Detroit, we have Josh Kropp, we have Lucas Martin, Ryan Jones and Liam Dippler Brown. So I've just been having a little chat to the race walkers, and I can let you know that the favourite probably there is going to be Daniel Detroit, but also we have Lucas there who will be a close second, if not really going to be big contender there in the race walk. So we can see the athletes there just kind of getting ready. So I've been having a chat to our officials as well. So there we have some of our mixed para, I believe, for potentially the 200. And we can see our senior women's long jump going on there in the background. Okay, cool. So let me just, there we go. We see our women there just lining up for the 2,000 metre race walk. So we have the athlete Martin. She will be looking for that 10-minute mark. So that's what she's chasing today. There's perfect conditions for race walking out there today. Similar to that of a 3,000 metre, we're looking for really nice still conditions. So there we go. There's our lineup. We have Kate Ritchie from the other thing. We have Lily. We have Hayden just back in here. Antonia. We have Sarah, Alana and Madeline. So like I said, we're looking lane number 3, 644. So she's definitely our favourite there today. She is looking for that 10-minute mark. So as they race walk around the track, we will be keeping you up to date on how those things will be going. Hayden, you're back. I thought you were going to go have a coffee.
I was going to pop out, and then I realised I better not leave you here alone for the race walks.
Well, I do have plenty of notes. If you want to
well
jump
done.
Out, maybe
well done.
Well, we do have Cam and Camille out there as well, so if you and them want to jump in and you want to go get a coffee break, no worries. So I have been going through, let me run through some of the rules for the race walk. So one of the things, there's a few things with the race walk that I didn't personally know, so I'm going to confirm them for you. So we have judges in New Zealand, so we actually have really, really highly trained officials. All of them are, I believe, B grade or higher, with 2 of our judges being international judges, which allows them to officiate at things like Commonwealth Games and Olympics. And there we are. We have our 200 metre para athletes here. It was Gabrielle Wright, and I'm sorry, I can't remember our first place there. So that was from our 200 metres a little bit earlier on. So well done to those athletes. Like we said, it was a pretty great race from them. So let me just run through those rules again. Yeah, so we do have judges. So there is 2 paddles which the judges use. So we have a yellow paddle, and when you're showing a yellow paddle, it's like a warning. So you don't get a strike. You only get a strike when you get a red paddle. So you get 3 strikes, and then you're disqualified. So a yellow paddle, there is 2 symbols on the paddle. The first one is a squiggly.
That was the weirdest start I've ever seen. I don't know if you just saw that.
I did. I looked down and I thought, oh, is that a false starter?
And I didn't hear a gun go off, so it might have just been a low-key, okay, off you go sort of a start. But I thought we had the rare situation of a false start in a walking race, which would have been... I've never seen that before. So anyway, so we have a 3,000 and a 2,000. So the boys are doing 3,000, the girls are doing 2,000. So that's why there's 2 packs. So we'll try and keep track of that. Okay, the rules.
Yeah, sorry. So you're back to the rules. So they've got the yellow paddle. It's got a squiggly line on, and if you're showing the squiggly line, it means that you're losing contact. So you have to have 1 foot on the ground at all times. The other one is a greater than sign, which means that your knees aren't straight. So when your knees aren't straight. So when you receive a yellow paddle, it's just a nice soft warning like, hey, tidy your technique up, we are watching you type thing. But it doesn't lead to a red card. So the way you get a red card is that you get 3 red strikes. So we will see at some point, there is a board. I believe the board is... there is a whiteboard somewhere. I want to say it's normally by the finish line, but I cannot see it down there anywhere. But anyway, so there's...
just at the start of the 100, actually.
Oh, yeah, there we go. So at the start of the 100, there is a whiteboard, and it has your number on. And next to your number, there will be, you get 3 red strikes. So the judge will never tell you if you've got a red strike. It's up to the athlete to look at the board to determine if they've got 1, 2, or 3 red strikes. Once you get 3 red strikes, then you will get the red paddle, which means you are disqualified. So we did see that at the Senior Nationals earlier this year. Where
that man on screen, actually, Daniel Detroit, if I remember rightly, picked up the 3 strikes.
Yes, so that's the thing, is that sometimes we see the athletes just going really well, and like one of the things I didn't realise is up to the athlete to actually be checking that board themselves. The officials will never tell them that they have got 3 strikes or are on 2 strikes, so that was an interesting thing that I found out. And actually, one of the things that we always talk about with race walking is, with the change in technology and all these cameras and stuff like that, it's becoming more obvious maybe in some ways that when they're making those technical errors, there's not 1 foot on the ground, or their knees aren't locking out. I did have a chat to one of the chief official actually, and the chief judge, and he did tell me that all of these rules are just to the naked eye. So they're not using the cameras out there to disqualify our race walkers. They are purely just to the naked eye. So yeah, I just thought that was quite an interesting thing, because it's one of the things we see in sports as the technology advances. We see different techniques used and things like that. So we'll go, and there we go. Then we have our 644. So this is our athlete.
So that's Antonia Martin of Rangatoto.
Yeah, so she's looking for that 10-minute mark today. So there we go. She's at 3 minutes in so far, and
and Alana Matthews just behind her.
Yeah, so Antonia's she's gone out there and she's really just set the pace. Like you see the boys there in the background really starting to...
Yeah, good pack of 3 boys all working together, just following in the lead of Daniel Detroit. So Daniel Detroit he's got some national junior records. So he's one of the rising stars of local race walking. So here we go through, they'll be coming through the 800 now, or is that the 1K for them? That is the 1K. No, 800. Sorry.
800.
Trying to keep track.
So one interesting thing we can do is that how about we give them everyone at home an update at the 1K as well, so then you can compare that to how fast they're actually moving, because everyone understands how fast that they can run 1K. So
we just saw the 800, so it's a bit brutal crossing over from the 800 where they're flying along to the race walk. But actually, if you were to jog with these, you would be working hard to keep up with these guys and girls. So the guys on screen, they're moving at about 4:30 per K, and here they come up to that 1K marker. So my long run this morning, which absolutely destroyed me because I ran with some very fast runners, was about at this pace. So 4:26 per kilometre they're ticking away at. Now, set your treadmill on about 13.7k an hour, and that's about the speed that these guys are moving. So see if you can walk at that speed. Good luck.
And they are doing for 3,000 metres as well. So don't just try to do it for the 1k. Just keep going.
Yeah.
Keep going at that pace. So they actually look like they are on a really great pace. They're heading up into that back straight. So the wind has definitely died down in that back straight. So it could be interesting to see if we see them kind of hold on to that pace there. We do have a mixed race here, so that's why we do see we have the women's 2,000 metres and the men's 3,000. That's why we do see two packs of people. But we do see those three leaders there in the men's are just looking quite comfortable, using each other really to set the pace, not letting go. Although we do see our third place there. There's just a little gap opening up. I don't want to say it's really a big gap. It's only about a metre. But if it's anything like a distance race, a metre is actually quite a big distance to start to fall behind.
So yeah, I think Antonia Martin went through in about 5:30 at the 1k. That is a very rough guess. I didn't quite get the exact split, but yeah, exciting to see these three boys working together as a pack. You can see Jonah Kropp at the back of that pack, just gritting his teeth, struggling to stay on the heels of this fast pace that Daniel du Toit has set here. Lucas Martin just right on his shoulder, almost smiling. Is that a smile on his face? Maybe he knows that he's handling this pace well from Daniel du Toit. So they're coming up close to the halfway mark in this 3,000 metres.
The pronunciation there is Daniel du Toit, not du Toit. I apologise, but I stand to be corrected.
So Antonia Martin there leading the senior girls 2,000 metres. It's a great event to get into, especially for those distance runners who have a good leg turnover. It really translates well to a good race walker. So basically, you're limited in terms of your stride length. Because you're walking, you need to get your heel on the ground with that straight knee. As you mentioned, you've always got to have one foot on the ground. So you're always limited in terms of, and we're seeing a definite break up in the pack. So Daniel du Toit just pulling away from Lucas Martin. Looks like they've dropped Jonah Kropp as well from that pack of three that was so tight early on.
You can see du Toit's really starting to break away. He's just kind of pulling away. I think just over the last kind of 300 metres, he's actually really started to make a big move. We do know that I did hear that he was chasing after that national record, which I do believe I had a look before.
Sorry,
so
we've swapped seats, so we're swapping laptops around.
Yeah, I'll just double check that record. But I do know it was held by Daniel Lord, and it was quite an old record, I believe. When I say old, if I remember Daniel doing it, Daniel was at school in my time, so it was more than 10 years old. Oh, yep, there we go, 2009. So Daniel Lord holds the record, and the record is 12 minutes 33.
Wow.
77. So I'll keep you up to date how we are tracking towards that record. It was a great day for the walkers to go out and get those records. The track is really, really warm out there.
I think Daniel's definitely upped the ante, because they're coming up towards that 2k mark. Remember, they went through in about 8:20 something, 4:20 something for that 1k. But yeah, look at Daniel du Toit just really pulling away. So yeah, as I was saying, if you're one of those distance runners, you've got a good engine, you've got good leg speed, you often translate to a very good walker. So we've seen, of course, Quentin Roux, one of our best ever walkers, being a distance runner, middle distance runner early as a teenager, and then transitioned over to walking. So there we go at 2k, 8:48 for Daniel du Toit. So...
And there we go. Was that the bell lap there for...
Yes, that'll be the bell lap for Antonia.
Yeah, Antonia, she's got the bell lap there. So
there she is on screen. So one more lap for the 2,000 senior girls.
Yeah, she's got about a 40 metre lead there. So she's well in front of the pack there. So looks like she would have secured herself a national title there, so it'll be interesting to see what the time is there. We do know that she was trying to track towards that 10-minute mark. The time is now currently 9 minutes 30. She's got about 300 metres to go.
An interesting little battle for third and fourth place. You can see the grimace on her face, Antonia Martin, working in this hot sunshine, knowing that she's just got one lap to go. And it must be so hard being in a walk, because in a distance race you can just put on the burners and go for it. The faster you go, the faster it's over. But in a walk you need to pay attention to that technique, and like you say, make sure you don't get those 3 strikes.
Yeah, one of the things as well that we start to notice is these athletes start to really get fatigued. We can see them, the heads going down, the heads start bobbling around. You can see the grimace in their face. So it is very, very intensive. So you've got a combination of that. It is physically difficult, and you're starting to feel that lactic burn, especially kind of around your hips and your knees, and it's very painful. But they've also got to be thinking constantly about their technique, because we did see at the national championships earlier this year athletes getting disqualified with less than 400 metres to go. So they've got to kind of keep on the whole time. There we go. Here we have our senior women's national champion coming down. She's got 100 metres to go.
She can see the finish line now, and a slight quickening of that cadence. Really smooth, actually. She's just pulling along, knowing that she has a national title in her grasp. Last 50 metres. Here she comes. It's going to be a good time in tick over 11 minutes. As she comes through, and I'm just sort of scanning back to see who's in second and third. So there she is, claims the national title in the senior girls race walk 2,000 metres, and it looks like Alana Matthew will come through for the second place. And I believe it's Madeline who might be coming through for a close third.
Yep. And here comes
Madeline Thomas, is it?
Yep, and here comes our first senior man. So this is Daniel Dutoy coming through for his final lap. Did he get the bell lap there?
I think he should have.
I did see the number 1, and I do think he's on time for what we would have expected for a bell lap.
I can tell you the senior girls have just found a spot on the grass and just collapsed. That's how brutal the race walk is. It's such a tough event to keep that stride rate up, keep that technique going.
Yeah, we can see Daniel there in the back straight. He's only got about 300 metres to go, but he's really starting to pump those arms. You can see that it's really, really tiring. Having a look around to see what, anyone close behind him. Nope, he's just really
Lucas
broken
Martin's
away.
Probably, I want to say 40 metres back now. You can see him on screen. So as long as Daniel Dutoit can keep that technique safe, he will be able to come through and claim that National Secondary Schools title. We see him just passing Ryan Jones, who's just tucking in there in the slipstream. He's one of the lapped walkers, but making the most of having a bit of company. And I think Daniel's just having a little chat over his shoulder. Oh, a little pass. Loving this. So a little pass on the bend, just rubbing it in. And is Daniel going to go wide again?
Yeah, so this is one of the technical things that is really hard for, not just for walkers, but also I found, not that I've run many long distance races in my life, but it is passing, is going wide, having to pass takes a lot of energy. But there we go. Here we see Daniel Dutoy coming through. He's got about 50 metres to go.
So he's going to miss that championship record, but that doesn't matter. He's going to win the New Zealand Secondary Schools 3,000 metre senior boys race walk. 13:13 is the time. 40 metres back behind him, Lucas Martin has walked a fantastic race as well after staying right on the shoulder of Daniel Dutoit. But the pace just got too hot, and he's hung on for a silver medal, and scanning back another 120 metres behind Jonah Kropp after being in that pack of 3 early on, is looking like he will come through for the bronze medal in the senior boys 3,000 metres.
For the 3,000 metre race.
Yeah, so we still have a few athletes out there just finishing off it. Like I said, it's really hot conditions. You can see all the athletes out there, got their hats on, well, that's a bad example, but just as I say that, there we go. We have our athlete. Is it our third place coming through
Jonah
now?
Kropp, here he comes, claiming the bronze medal. Fantastic race. Hot work out in the midday sun when we were talking about the hundreds and the shot puts running first at 9 a.m. this morning. I bet they would have loved to swap with these guys, and they wouldn't have complained either.
Exactly. That's why I was thinking one of those things is that just from experience, I know that when I was in Doha, the World Champs this time last year, the race walk actually occurred at midnight.
Wow.
Just to avoid they didn't have the benefit of being inside the lovely air-conditioned stadium, and the athletes actually had to compete in the middle of the night just to get the nicer, cool, I want to say breeze. So here we go. Here we have our athlete.
Yeah, Liam Dunlop-Brown coming through from St. Pat's.
So he will be taking out the 4th place there. It's got about 18 metres to go. You can see that it's really starting to feel the fatigue. Looking quite comfortable though.
Yes.
I was going to say feeling the fatigue a little bit, but definitely working really nicely through. So that's one of the things with a lot of, walks, distance running, 400s. It's been able to work with the fatigue and lactic and use it as another energy system to kind of almost boost you through to that next level. You don't want to drop off pace. You don't want to speed up. You just don't want to drop off pace. So this is what we want to see from a lot of our walkers as well. It's just finding that rhythm, finding that groove, and just keep ticking over, even when things start to get really, really tough.
Absolutely. So 2 more laps to go for Liam. And I believe this is going to be our 4th place getter. So Ryan Jones of Napier Boys High will come through for 4th place. Still holding, just a tick over 5-minute K. So again, when you put it into perspective, you put your treadmill on 12K an hour, and that's the speed that Ryan was just walking. And I often, when I do a gym workout, I'll start off with a little walk on the treadmill just to warm up, and I'll often crank it up just to see how fast I can walk. I can't get past 9K now.
I've never tried that before. Might be something on
my good little challenge up maybe after Tokyo. Don't do it before, because your shins are just aching. It's very painful, and that's only at 9K now. So very impressive that these athletes can walk a lot quicker than that. And so here we go, finishing off her 2000.
There we go. We have Lily there, and that will be our 2nd place?
I believe that was 4th place in the 2000. Sorry. Yeah.
Lucky I'm not the judge out there scoring. So that's one of the complicated things, I guess, as well for our judges. And I was thinking generally all around for a lot of the officials is that they do need to keep track of the athletes, where they're at, when athletes are starting to overlap each other. And the complicated thing with this walk is that we had a 3,000 metre walk and a 2,000 metre walk going on at the same time. So we're really lucky to have our great officials out here. And like I said, we have 2 international judges out here for our race walkers, which is great for Race Walking New Zealand as well. It really means that they're getting quality judging, and it's going to uplift the sport as a whole.
Absolutely. So where we're heading this morning, before we head away for a lunch break, we still have the senior girls long jump taking place, and the senior boys high jump has kicked off. So running a little bit later than planned with the high jump, just with the senior girls comp going longer,
the junior
girls going longer, which is always a good thing. If the high jump goes longer, it means that there's a lot of movement upwards of the bar.
Yes, definitely.
So just finishing off the 3,000 metre race walk here. So we're going to be skipping over to the hurdles. I can see them being set up, and we have 2 of the best most knowledgeable hurdlers in the country to guide you through these high hurdles. So I'm going to go and shoulder tap Cameron French, who's just sitting near us in the commentary box, and he's going to come in and join you, take us through to lunch, and then we'll take a break. Now, after lunch, this is, if you're ever going to watch anything this weekend, from 1 o'clock to 5 o'clock, make sure you're tuned in, because it's finals back to back to back. We are handing out medals left, right, and centre. So be sure to tune in. We've got 100s, 200s, 400s, 1500s,
300 hurdles,
relays, 300 hurdles, steeples, and the field.
Yeah, so we do have senior boys discus, we have senior girls high jump, we have the senior boys high jump, senior girls high jump and the senior boys high jump. We do currently have a hammer competition going over on the far field. Like I said, I'm not sure if we're going to get any footage of that hammer throw at the moment. It doesn't look like maybe they're warming up potentially over there. I'm not 100% sure. Unfortunately, it's not in the main stadium, that hammer throw. So we will keep you up to date if we do get any information on that.
And if you're in the Tauranga area, what are you doing? Come on down, because this afternoon is going to be absolute action-packed. We've got food trucks here, coffees, ice creams. Come and pull up a picnic blanket in the sun and watch an incredible afternoon of athletics, the pinnacle of the weekend, the climax of the weekend. Okay, I'm going to grab Cameron French and we will get those hurdles set up.
Yeah, so like Hayden said, we do have our senior men's high hurdles coming up in a minute, so it's 110-metre hurdles. It is pretty exciting stuff, the 110-metre hurdle, so we can see the officials it's a very labour-intensive kind of job setting up hurdles. Being a hurdler myself, I do know that is one of the downsides of hurdles. It is dragging them out, putting them in the right lanes, moving the weight. So all the hurdles do have weights in the bottom of the stand, so depending on how high the hurdle is, the weight is shifted to allow them to just fall over when needed. There we go, we got a bit of footage there from our senior women's hammer throw, which is going on in the backfield. We will grab a update list in a second for you and let you know who is throwing in our hammer throw there. And in studio we have Cam French. Welcome back, Cam.
Howdy, how's it going?
Great. So what have you been up to this morning, Cam? Enjoying some great athletics?
I have. I've been running in circles around the estuary in Tauranga, doing a little recovery run there, and then we made our way to the track. It looks like a really warm day out there. Well, it is a warm morning. And maybe a little bit less wind than yesterday.
Yeah, it's definitely, the wind's definitely died up. And there we go. There we have our final athlete come through in our 3,000 metre walk. Well done to all our athletes who have been out there. It is very, very hot conditions who have been out there walking today. Here we have the senior women's hammer throw. So let me just find you a senior...
The junior girls.
I will find you a start list there.
Penny's presenting the medals. For the bronze medal to Lucy Shannon from Diocesan School. We apologise for an incorrect announcement there.
So we do have a start list for the senior women's hammer throw. Do you want to read it through, Cam, or do you want me to shoot through them?
Oh, you go for it.
All right, we have Cynthia Noom Duckworth from Rangitoto College. She's our top seed with 59.35. We have Elizabeth Hewitt from Clinton St. John's School. Sorry, there is a few short version names. She is second ranked with 53.43. We have Jasmine Sama from Mangureiro High School. Jasmine from Mangureiro High School. We have Tegan Ashley Sulamu from Apria College. We have Anya Diplo Brown, we have Lily McGrill, we have Jana Longry, we have Sky Singer, Antonia, we have Katie Wong, we have Sophie Andrews, Lily Middleton, Michaela Watson, Charlotte Lambie, Laura Longley, we have Nellie Brooke, we have Caitlin. I'm sorry, Caitlin, I cannot pronounce your surname, but from Waikato Dyson, and we have Scarlett Kirby. So that is our start list. I will try to improve my name reading. As you can tell, when Hayden is out of studio.
He's definitely got a knack for it.
Yeah, got a knack for it, so I'll continue to improve them. But like Hayden always says, make sure you shout out and come hit me up when you see me on the track if I've been saying your name wrong or if I'm just totally off.
Yeah.
It'd be great to get on top of those. So there we go. We have our 110-metre boys final.
Yeah, straight into there. We've got Tyler Day in lane 1. And we've just lost the names. So
there we go.
Back again. Josh Steele, I think that is. Harrison Bond, St. Paul's Collegiate. Cameron Moffat in lane 4. Nat Kirk. Lane 6 is Terramaine Redmond Granger. Gardner, Max Terurua. Joshua Price in lane 8.
Cool. So
good to see a St. Sorry, I cut you off there, but good to see a St. Paul's boy out there. Speaking from personal experience and representing St. Paul's at schools here, that's where I started my hurdling career. But Harrison Bond, he had a good run in the 100 there yesterday. I actually did a little bit of work with him a few years back, just before I went overseas. So it's good to see him still running well and having another good crack at the hurdles.
Awesome. So there we go. Oh, we have some, I'm not sure who we have up there on the podium, but we do have another medal ceremony. We'll be jumping in and out of those. Like I said, we have a lot of medal ceremonies going, but in the meantime, we do see our senior men's 110 metre high hurdles warming up there. This is a final, so it's one of the, it is just 8 boys lining up there. So, Cam, do you know how high these hurdles are for these young athletes? Are they 3 foot?
I think they're 3'3".
Yeah, 3'3". So because me and Cam are 90 years old, we like to work in feet.
Yeah.
So the girls like to run 2'6", and the men do 3'3". So yes, these are extremely high hurdles. I think they are. They do go up another notch as well for them once they're outside of school. So this is quite a technical event. What we're really looking for is that there's 3 strides between every hurdle, but one of the big things for a lot of these guys is that they really, because they're so high, they really need to have great flexibility and be actually exaggerating that hurdle technique where they're really leaning in and using their arms to pull across. It's a little bit different from a 4 hurdle where you're kind of looking for a bit more. We look for flow, right? We're not really looking for that snap, but in these high hurdles, we're looking for, I'm not even sure how you explain it other than just that snap across the
a lot more forward lean, so you're really trying to drive your arm a lot more aggressively forward, so your body lean is a lot more forward than in the 4 hurdles. You're trying to stay more upright in the 400 hurdles, and like you said, keep that flow. Where the 110s, you really want to be attacking those hurdles more aggressively.
And one of the things I've just noticed, Cam, is that no one can see us. So when you do the action to show people, as Cam was explaining, he was trying to show everybody at home.
Exactly.
Let me show you the exact
anyone
technique.
Looking up in the little box in the back of the stand, that's how you do it.
Yeah. So one of the things is like the easiest way to explain hurdles, especially high hurdles and sprint hurdles, to someone at home who's not familiar, is that they're almost falling over the hurdle. So if you start to look at these international hurdlers, is that they're at this point, it's just a very fine line between falling over because they have that really, really high lean. And one of the big things that we do need to look for a lot of these young hurdlers is that we're looking at their trail leg. So the trail leg is a leg that goes round, the lead leg is the one that goes over straight first. So with their trail legs as well, they actually really need to pull those round to make sure that they're getting the momentum to get those 3 strides. So a lot of the time when you're learning hurdles, I think a lot of people struggle with that 3 stride because, their technique's not quite sound and they're kind of popping up and they're losing a lot of that momentum that they're building between the hurdles. And if you kind of depower coming off the hurdle, it makes the next hurdle really hard, and then so forth and so forth. So there we go. We have our senior men lining up there for our 110 metre hurdle final. I do see a couple of decathletes in there as well, so it'll be interesting to see how this one pans out.
And they're off nice and cleanly there.
Here we go. We have Max there in the blue from Rangitoto, but out in the front we have... lane 6 coming through strongly there. Nice close finish there, but I think that was lane... Yeah, so look like it was Cameron Moffat there from lane 4. Sorry, we'll have to see the replay. We weren't that organised. Both Cam and I were too busy watching that race there. It was a great race. Look at the technique.
Yeah, it's great.
Yes, a really big run off there. So
I think it's Cameron in first. Looked like lane 6.
Yeah, so lane 4, lane 6, then lane 5.
So those middle seeds were definitely...
So lane 4, so Cameron Moffat... lane 4, what did we say?
Yeah, Cameron Moffat there, Hana-rae, I think that is, Redmond Gardner, and then in third was Nat Kirk there, so...
Yeah, so great race. So those are your 3 national champions. We'll wait till those times pop up for us and we'll give you some times there.
Wanganui High still doing well with the hurdles as well. I think, is Alec McNabb still down there coaching?
I have no idea, sorry.
He's been there for a long time, so he actually used to coach my dad as well for the hurdles, so he has been there for a while, but he's done great things with that Wanganui programming and the hurdling there, so again, good to see another Wanganui hurdler there.
There we go, so our times just coming through there. So Cam, do you want to give us a rundown of those times?
So Cameron Moffat 15:05, Hana-rae is there 15:22, and Nat Kirk there 15:56. And fourth we've got Max is there from Kapara College 15:83. Harrison Bond is sneaking in for 5th with 15:89. Josh Price in 6th, 16:16. Josh Steele there with 16:96, and Tyler Day a little bit behind there not sure what happened, but 27.04. So great for him to finish and still attack those hurdles. It is pretty demoralising when you do smack one and lose your rhythm completely, but it's great to see them sort of recovering and still hungry to finish the race at least and again give it their best as the whole way. So
Definitely. It's definitely one of those things. Like I said, no, sorry, Max, I did say you were from Rangitoto College, but I do know you are from Kaipara College, so that was a little bit of error on my behalf. Sorry about that, Max, but great race by those guys. It's great to see someone like Max come through with 15.83 because he is a decathlete, and we have seen him feature in, I think we saw him in the javelin, I've seen him in the shot put, and now we're seeing him in the hurdle. So I talked about this with Hayden earlier on. It is one of those great things about the secondary schools. It gives you opportunity to do a little bit of everything. But anyway, here we are back to the senior women's long jump. Unfortunately, our live results for the senior women's long jump aren't coming through. So I'm not 100% sure what's happening there, but as soon as we do get some results up there, we will keep you updated. I can let you know that the record for the senior women's long jump was 6 metres. I did have a look at before, from 2005 at 6 metres 05.
Jessica Penny.
Yeah, from Jessica Penny. So
she's living in Australia now, in Canberra. Is that the same Jessica Penny?
I'm not 100% sure. Once again, my athletics knowledge outside of athletics is not that great. But here we go. So here we have our athlete for our senior women's long jump. Really nice conditions here for long jump. You can see, it's just got the red flag there. So we've got a nice tailwind going on down the back straight. It's not as gusty as it was yesterday. So we were just trying to get some results going for this long jump because we know it's pretty grim commentating if we don't know where everyone's at. And I know that everyone's only tuning in to see where their friends are going at and who's ranked where and what number, what round we're up to. So we will get onto that as soon as we can. Okay, so this is the finals for the senior women's long jump as well. So, yeah, we do have the long jump. We also have quite a few other things going on. I can see we have high jump going on. Senior men's high jump has started, so that's going to be a really great competition. It's great conditions for long jump. The track is so warm. Not long jump, for high jump. The track is so warm down here, which means that it's going to be a lot of spring on that track, and athletes will be nice and warm. So one of the big things for our high jumpers as well is that they are looking for really warm conditions. Keeping those tendons and ligaments really warm is quite a critical thing, and that's why we see a lot of them always wrapped up in blankets, and then in the emergency foil blankets, and then another emergency foil blanket just in case they're not warm enough.
Yeah, it's great that, like you said, with this heat, that it's going to really warm that rubber up, which is going to give it a nice spring and great conditions for high jump. A little tailwind too into the bar, so it might be a little bit extra speed there, but that could be good to help them out with those heights too.
Yeah, I think most of the jumps generally a little bit of a tailwind is preferred. I don't think anyone wants a headwind, but there is actually also that point for those at home who don't necessarily know athletics that well, that you really do want, you don't want a massive tailwind, especially in things like long jump, because it actually puts your run-up off. And for all of the jumps, I want to say that one of the most important things is the run-up. The consistency in the run-up is, if you don't set yourself up correctly in that run-up, you're never going to make the bar, you're never going to get the distance. So it's always really, really important part of the event that we're looking for.
Going to Sarah James from Avonside Girls High School.
Cool. And we also do, like I said, we do have the senior women's hammer throw going on the backfield as well. So if you jump onto the live results as well, you will be able to follow how they are going on down there. But unfortunately, they aren't in the main stadium, so we aren't able to capture them for us. So there we go. Nice clearance there in the senior men's high jump.
Pettengill Brandon 4, Van der Westhuizen in 5, Liam McKenzie in 6, Ryan Mellon in 7.
And once again, we'll try to get some results going for some of these field events, just so we can let you know what the bar's at, the height's at, and what's happening, especially hopefully in some of these jumping events as soon as we can. But there we go, we have let me find a start list for our high jump as well. The bar, that's not the bar is not at 22 metres 46, but that is
very impressive.
No, but it looks like there is I think there is a junior women's javelin going on in the background there.
The record holder here is Chris Wera, moved from Christchurch Boys High.
Here we go. So there's our
30.24. We've got Asher Pettingale Brand from.
Yeah. So there is our. We do have a start list for our senior boys. High jump.
We've got 20 athletes in the high jump here. We've got Jaden Williamson. His best is, seed mark, is 207, so he's leading the polls there with Quinn Hartley in second. He's 204, so two guys over the 2 metre mark, so that should be grounds for a good competition there. And close to them in the third ranked, we've got Tamarain again, so he's just done the hurdle, so he's going to be popping straight back over there to the high jump, so he's at 199 metres there. Jourdain Piner, it's 198 his seed. Ellie Leafy, 196. Alfie Baker is 196 also. Levy Ferguson, 195. Adam Stack, 194. Suti Masa, 194. Matthew Billings, he's 192 ranked. Kane DeVers, Christchurch Boys, he's 187. Josh Woodhead, 186. Harvey Meyer was again 186. Ice Williams is 186 also. Finn Goodin, Wellington College, he's 180. Tyler Wilson, 180 as well. Jackson Rogers, Sidaviti Luce, and Brad Spicer all at 180 as well. So they're pretty close there. Oh, we've also got a few more down the bottom. Rule Prasad, he's 175. William Krofsky, 165. And Shay Teddle Welch, he's 160. So
awesome. Pretty reasonably close in that top bunch between 180 and that 2 metre mark. So yeah, definitely, and well done there, Cam. I do know, like I said, Cam and I are neither of us. This is not our day job or anything, so we will continue to try and improve it as we can. Here we go. So we're up to the senior women's 100 metre final. So we have Samantha Croc from Takapuna Grammar School, Gracie Pratton from Cashmere High School, Sarah Farmer from Haureta High School, Brianna Ivory from Gisborne Girls High School, Haniwa Knowles from Cambridge. Julia Burnham from Villa Maria College, Maggie Jones from Whanganui High School, Angelina Zirk from Kaipara College, and Sarah Langsbury from St Hilda's Collegiate. So there we go. That is our senior women's lineup for the 100 metre final. So Knowles in lane 4, I believe. She holds our national record, I believe. If we can I will just have a quick check. I do believe that she took out, we talked about this yesterday with Hayden, I believe that she did take out the 1 and the 100 hurdles last year.
So keep an eye on those middle lanes.
Yeah, so she did.
When the semis
Haniwai,
will be there.
Yeah, so last year Haniwai actually, she broke the record of 1380 last year. So Haniwai is in lane 4, and like I said, she took out the double last year of the 100 and the 100 hurdles. So she's definitely got some wheels in her, one to look out for. But in the meantime, we can see them warming up. So one of the interesting things there for our girls is that it has got a really nice tailwind, nice and warm conditions. And we are back to the senior women's long jump over there. So unfortunately, it's a no jump, so we haven't got the results going here for this one, but we will keep an eye up and keep you updated. And we see our senior men as well in the 100 metre, in the high jump as well. And like I said, we will also try to keep you updated as we can. If we could hopefully get some results here, or at least a ball. So here we are. We are at the senior women's 100 metre final. We have Haniwai Knowles in lane 4, who is our favourite. She does hold this national record in this event. We did see her take it out last year, so let's see what she has for today. This is great conditions. Last year she took it out in Wellington. It was windy, it was cold, it was horrific. Both Hayden and I had our snow jackets on, so if she can pull out that kind of time in a event such as that, hopefully today we can see something else great from her. She looked really, really great in the heat, just super smooth. She was about 2 hurdles ahead, so let's see what she has going for her today.
They go to take their marks now.
Just as we say that, there's a bit of a gust of a headwind going on there, but hopefully it just dies down. Oh, there we go. They've been told to stand up again, so you see the girls kind of just wandering around there, the nerves going, the little jumps going on, just a little body twitches.
That resets the worst feeling ever. You get all hyped up and they go stand up and you're like, oh. So hopefully they can get away cleanly now.
Yeah, so there we go. So we can see there number 103 is hana-rae Knowles in the middle lane 4 there. Caitlin Feather in lane 1, Ellen Carter in lane 2, Grace Pratton in lane 3, hana-rae Knowles in 4, Julia Burnham 5, Maggie Jones 6, Angelica Zerek in 7, and Sarah Langsbury in 8. So there we go, nice strong start to lead to hana-rae Knowles, but there we go.
Maggie Jones on the outside there, coming through strongly for second, it looks like, and third's going to be quite close to pick.
Hana-rae Knowles there though, taking out that first quite comfortably, but we did see a really, really great challenge there from Maggie Jones on the inside. So once we see the replay of that one, we'll be able to give you the top 3 there. It's one of those things that you're kind of watching at the time as it unfolds. And one of the exciting things we said, there we go, we see, look at that class from hana-rae, just really, really strong lead leg, and
looks like it looked like Julie Burnham for third, but wait to see the results there properly.
Yeah, so we'll wait for our full times to come through, but we do that. Know that hana-rae Knowles has defended her national title. There we go, lane 6. Ooh.
Yeah, I think that was Julie Burnham for third, just giving just a slight nose in front of those other girls, but really close for that 4th, 5th, 6th positions as well.
Yeah, so we have hana-rae Knowles there for 14.35, Maggie Jones 14.54, Julia Burnham 15.02, Sarah Langsbury at 15.08, Gracie Pratton for 15.04, Caitlin Feather for 15.22, Ellen Carter for 15.43, and Angelina Zerk for 16.83. We see that she had a little bit of a trip there or something at the end, so
only 0.2 between sort of 3rd and 6th, so that's really great racing there.
Yeah, so really, really tight racing there, a lot tighter than I thought I was expected to see, but well done to hana-rae for holding on to her national title. It's one of those things that people really take for granted that, they're always a national champion, they've got the record, they'll be able to do it again, but I think it's one of those things that we both know is that actually every race is just as hard as the one before, so you've got to take those times that you win, you've really got to cherish them, because the longer you do the sport, the more realisation you have that they don't come around every day. So.
Exactly, and every race is different, so you've always got different things on, different conditions to battle, and different time of year, different preparation things and stuff like that. So like you said, you've just got to get out there and do your best. So, and to defend a title in such class as well is she should be really proud of her effort there. It was great.
Yeah, very, very exciting. So here we are over the senior men's high jump. So if we get a shot of the board, we'll be able to tell you what height we're at. The starting height may have been around the 170, 180 mark. So it looks like we're in the early rounds of the high jump. We're looking, I'd say one of our favourites is Jaden Williams. So he's got a 207 seed mark. We've seen him throughout the senior years. Well, throughout the senior competitions last year, performing really, really, really well. He's just really improved, and he's one of those interesting athletes that I find he used to, I'm not sure if he still does, but he used to do high jump and hana-rae combo. So
it's a nice, interesting combo there.
Yeah, very, very interesting, multi-talented athlete, but he started to really focus on his high jump this year. So we'll be hoping to see over that 2 metre mark. It's one of my favourite things to see once these athletes get over the 2 metre mark and the officials have to get the little step ladder to get up and put the bar back on. There we go. So the
bar's at 180 there, so that's good to know.
Yeah, so the bar there is at 180. So all these athletes get 3 attempts at the 180 mark. So so as the competition progresses as well, we'll be able to keep you updated how things are going there.
So 180 is that sort of range for some of those seed times as well for those boys. So they're getting close to that seed marks now. Slight few top of the group can get over that 180 and into close to that 2 metres. So I'm interested to see how they go from here. Hopefully some good PBs all round.
Yeah, definitely. And one of the things that I have noticed is that probably our top 10 boys have really in those high 190 to 2 metre mark as well. So there'll be a lot of PBs out there, people chasing PBs today. And like I said, the conditions are great for high jump out there today. It's really warm. The track is fast. The track is really bouncy. And there we go. We see our athlete.
I think that was a Jackson Rogers there.
Jackson Rogers over 180. And we go back to our senior women's long jump there in the background.
So that was Grace Patton there. Pratton, sorry, from Cashmere High School. Her best seed time there is 5:21. So
yeah, 5 minutes 21. So Gracie Pratton, we just saw in the 100-metre hurdles, I believe. So did she? I believe she just must have done the old turnaround, run the hurdles,
jogged round the bend and straight into the run up. Yeah,
back into the long jump. So so here we go. We have
the bronze medal going to Pippa Dixon from Te Awamutu College. And a height of 1.64 metres.
So we are back at the senior men's high jump.
The silver medal to Olivia Power from St Cuthbert's in 1.67 metres, 1 metre 67. And the gold medal, and a new record.
All right, so here we are back at the senior women's long jump. So, no, actually, I take that back. We are back to the senior. No, we're also now back. We can see the wind actually picking up over there, little dust storms going on. So we do have the senior men's high jump going on. It is their final as well as the senior women's long jump going on. So we expect this high jump competition to be quite a long one. We have 23 athletes going. The bar is starting at 180.
Jordan Piner there. Great jumper there, so that should be over 180 for him. So he's seated at 198, so looking like he's moving well. So
yeah, you can see there a really. We have just a miss there from
Josh Thiel.
Layla Wilman, Napier Girls High, a distance of 32.79 metres.
So I believe
silver medal goes to Kirsty McCarthy Dempsey from Darfield High School in a distance of 33.07.
That was the javelin we just saw with the medal presentation there.
And the gold medal, first place Ruby Donnelly.
So there's just a miss there at the 180 mark. So one of the interesting things that we see here with the high jump as well is that athletes, high jump's one of those interesting kind of events where, you know, you think to jump high, you don't actually think about running fast, but it's one of those things that as we see some of these athletes who are getting up towards the 2 metre mark jump in as well, you'll see that they actually are very quick and accurate on their run up. They have a lot of effort on their run up. They're trying to gain that momentum and really hold that bend out. So one of the biggest mistakes that a lot of high jumpers make, especially young high jumpers, is that they end up almost running angles, like they run quite square. So you've got to really run like a nice round curve to.
And if anyone stop there, so hopefully he's all right with that.
I was going to say, if anyone
have a good smile about it, so he's not too bad, obviously.
Yeah, and if anyone's ever done that in high jump, where at home and you've just gone out and done high jump and you land and it's in the middle of your back, but the bar hits the middle of your back, you know exactly that feeling. And it's one of the most painful things that can ever happen to you. So we have our athlete from Wellington College. I think this is Jackson Rod. No.
4.21. Second, Olivia Herman, Maria College, 12.63.
So we don't have an up-to-date list here, but we do have our athlete from Wellington College there.
Just grazing that on the back. So
yeah, just grazing a little back. And just one of those things, again, you might just need to think about that run up, trying to get a little bit more speed in there, a little bit more momentum so we can get that uplift over the bar. So also one of the things we're looking for is we're looking for that speed into the high jump as well as trying to hold that curve. But also one of the things that is we want to see them do is actually really punch that knee up high to help them lift up over the bar as well. All right, so here we have a athlete from Hastings Boys High. or college. Hastings boys, there we go. Number 289. So the bar is still at 180, I believe.
Anybody who hasn't collected or pre-ordered.
Yeah, so we are still in the very first rounds of this high jump. Like I said, we are looking to get into that 2 metre mark. So we are in the early days of this high jump competition for these boys. So some of our other athletes, we won't see them come in. Maybe I'm thinking around the 190 mark, another 10 centimetres. So the high jump does go up in 5 centimetres for those who don't know.
Look like a second attempt fail there for Hastings boys. A little disappointed. Hopefully he's got one more chance at that one so he can re-evaluate, reset and have another crack.
Yeah, so high jump is one of those things that's a little bit of a waiting game as well in terms of events because everyone starts at different heights. So it's a little bit of a strategy as well. A lot of these athletes might think, you know, if you're someone like Jade and you're jumping 207, you might think, oh, I might pop in at 190 just to do a warm-up jump and then I'll skip another couple heights. I do believe we go up in 5 centimetres until around the 195 mark, and then after that we'll start going in 3 centimetres.
Oh,
very close attempt there.
Looks smooth into it, but maybe just lacking a little bit of speed there to get up and over.
There we go. So we're either our second or third attempt here for our athlete. Is that
Wanganui Collegiate?
Yeah, Wanganui Collegiate. So he just waits for them to put that bar back on.
So I'll take a swing. I think this might be Harvey Meyer. So hopefully that's him. Good run up in there. Oh, tough luck.
So it looks like he's just got a few little issues with that run up there. It looks like he's stuttering just a little bit. So these are all the small things that really affect your ability to get enough height in high jump. It's not how hard you can hit the ground to get off, which is a little bit of an illusion, but almost think of it like a basketball layup where you've got to gain that momentum, you've got to plant the foot, and you almost do a little bit of a roll to get up. And you use your knee to help punch you up. But if you went to do a layup and you kind of stuttered in.
It's that momentum again, isn't it?
Yeah, it's just that
pop, they're getting that timing right.
Yeah, and it's like one of those things I like to always use, and it's the same thing I said in pole vault yesterday, and the same thing does apply in the high jump in a lot of ways, is that it's about really it's like a spring. You want to push down, and then as you get to the bar, you want to be really loaded to be able to explode over. So here we are, we're at the senior women's
that looked like a brilliant throw there.
Hammer throw on the backfield. It was a great throw, well out over. I don't want to even make a guesstimation because I know I will be well off there.
I saw the little indicator time, but it flashed too quickly for any accurate guessing.
So
we've got the pitchfork there as the marker, so that's good.
Yes, we've got a little crowd going on, and we do hold Hammer now out of the main stadium just for safety reasons, but we do have a really strong history and really, really strong athletes at the moment in our Hammer throw, so we'll try to keep you guys up to date as well, because we do know that all of our Hammer throwers in New Zealand have come through the school ranks as well, so it's a really good indication of what to see next, and these young ladies do have great role models in New Zealand.
Especially at the moment with Julia Ratcliffe and Lauren Bruce, that got a little rivalry going there. Lauren's come out this year and turned an Olympic qualifier twice, actually. One didn't count because it was out of the qualifying period, but she just threw one the other day, 72 I think it was. Her first throw was 73. No, I think it might be 76. Oh, 73, yeah. But she threw a 72 the other day, so she's in great form. And I think those two ladies are actually going to be at the Night of Fives next Friday night. So
there you go. You'll be able to tune into the Sky Sport Next channel on Friday night and see those ladies, battle it off. Yeah.
So one's qualified and one's, I think, Julia's only about 10 centimetres off. So I think it's going to be really close and. Great to see two hammer throws at the Olympics. That would be pretty amazing.
Yeah, definitely. And Julia did. She is a medalist from the Commonwealth Games as well. So she's great talent. And one of the good things about seeing two athletes in one event, both of us are pretty isolated in our events at times in New Zealand. One of the great things is that when you get two amazing athletes and people really come through the ranks, it actually uplifts everybody. So I like to think about it, you think about women sprinting in New Zealand at the moment. It's just amazing across the board. We've got so many young athletes are breaking that sub-12 at school level, but they're really getting uplifted by the amount of women that are actually really competitive.
And that competition through any event really is exactly it's what brings you through. You've got that sort of accountability, you're chasing someone, you're holding someone off. That competition is what really sort of pushes you to get that little extra mile.
Yeah, so there we go. We have our athlete walking out the front there. I don't think she was that happy with it.
High 30s, I think.
Yeah, so Yeah, but we are back at the senior men's high jump. So we are going to be flicking between both of the hammer and the high jump here.
This will be the final jump for Wanganui Collegiate. So he's there focusing and gearing up, ready to have that one last crack at, I think, 180.
Yeah, so we can see them just looking down there, just really kind of gaining that concentration, trying to think about those technical points that he needs, changes that he needs to make. He needs to do something slightly different. If you start to miss the bar, you can't just go back and repeat the same type of thing and try harder and expect it to work. You actually need to start to make technical changes. So hopefully we can see him run a nice, smooth run.
He's got to clear his head as well. He can't be thinking about those mistakes now. He's got to go a little bit off there. But
yeah, so it just looks like he's really got effort there. We're just thinking, I'd say just a little bit. He was just a little bit passive in that run up, and it's one of the great things about coming to events like this for young athletes as well, is that they get to learn these type of things, what things that they want to do to change, for next year and how they can improve as well. So well done to those athletes.
If he can take those learnings from this and maybe work that further next year or next few months if he's competing in the season and just learn what he can from these events to make himself better for next round, then that's all we can really do, really.
Yes, definitely, and I think you're right there. I think these guys do know that there's great pathways in New Zealand to become great high jumpers. We have really great coaching for high jump. If it wasn't, it's one of those events that I always wish I went back and did a little bit more of. When I was doing heptathlon, I never trained for high jump, and maybe one of my biggest regrets. Yeah, I would have loved to I've always loved high jump. I would have loved to have a bit of training and consistency to see what I could really do. It's one of the events that I do personally love to watch. When a high jumper absolutely nails it, it's just so fluid and it's just very, very graceful. There's nothing like a really, really great high jump. So here we go. We have our bar going up there. It's at 186. So we've already started going up in 3 centimetres, I believe, then. The last height must have been 183. We're up to 186 there in the high jump. So taking that into consideration, we are going up in 3 centimetres. We will see a couple of our athletes just sit it out probably for the next half an hour or so. Oh, it's
185 now, yeah.
Oh, sorry, I looked on the board and I thought it said 6, but it is 185. So we are still going, sorry.
We're slowly nudging up there towards that.
Yeah, so we are still going up in 5 centimetres, but like I said, we'll get to a point in the competition where they actually switch out from 5 into 3 centimetres. But here we go. So we're at our first round here at 185, and nice clearance there. Just nice and easy. Good pop, great arch, and just doing enough to, just get over there. And that's one of the things of high jump as well. You want to reduce the amount of throws looking at the hammer jumps. So here we go, back at the senior women's hammer throw. We'll see if we can get you a start list on this as well, let you know what's happening here. And one of the things I do know about having nice release
there. That was good.
Great height, getting some great distance. So one of the things we're looking for hammer throws as well is that, one, they want to look at their release angle, but one of the things that I did learn from watching it last year, it's really about trying to gain that momentum across the circle, using the chain, I want to say the chain that the
number 8 wire.
Yeah, using the number 8 wire to really help balance you so you can get that really quick momentum there. So here we are back at the senior men's high jump. The bar is at 185. This is our first round here.
No, a little bit close to that one, I think.
Yeah, so he actually almost, he inverted a little bit too soon there. So if, he needs to just have a chat to his coach, think, what do I need to do next? Do I need to move back? We're obviously at a different angle here, but I would kind of think about maybe going back a little bit to give himself a little bit more space to go.
Looked quite close to the bar there, so he was coming up under the bar rather than sort of coming up on an angle that was going to get him over it.
Yeah, definitely. And the higher the bar gets, the further away you actually want to jump from it. So it is a little bit of an illusion. Now let's see if we can grab this. To do this.
Oh, good throw there. Oh, we're back into the high jump again. Oh, smooth.
Yeah.
That was really nice.
Really nice. You can see a really easy, bounding motion coming through there. Just really, really comfortable.
I believe the 3 girls are there.
Nice, great jump there. So the bar is at 185 at the senior men's high jump. We are into the first round here.
So this looks like Elizabeth Hewitt in the circle here. So her mark is 53.43, her ranking mark. So looking like she's getting close out to those distances now.
Yeah, so she's ranked.
Good throw there.
No, so she's ranked second there. You can actually kind of tell, one of the things that I noticed a lot, especially in the school athletics at this level as well, you can tell the athletes that have, they've come in last year. I've seen them last year in the circle, and you see, we see them again this year. We can see that Elizabeth's really been working on her technique there. She had really nice, long limbs using her arms. One of the things we did see last year quite a bit with the hammer was quite a lot of the athletes were quite new to the event, really shorten their levers as well, which is not that I'm an expert on hammer, but
you got to keep those everything long and locked. Rather, if you're trying to pull in, you sort of imagine you're tensing up, you're not getting that flow, and you're not able to accelerate that hammer through.
Yeah, definitely. I think it's one of those things, like we said, it is the acceleration across the circle, but there is a lot of coordination, a lot of other little technical things that really kind of add to that for the athletes, and they do throw it over their shoulder backwards, which for me...
our top ranked thrower there, Sentian. Yes, great throw. Her rank is 59.35, so she's quite out ahead of the second rank, which is 53, but looking really good in that form as well.
Yeah, so we get a replay of it. There we go. So really nice long legs, just picking
really
up quite a lot of speed.
Hammer. Yeah, that was great.
Yeah, a really nice angle of release there. Glad I'm not the official having to stand out there.
Yeah. Dodge
like
the 3 kg cannonball coming flying at you.
Exactly, it's like an extreme sport, a bit of adrenaline for those officials. Here we
nice
are,
we're
back at the senior men's high jump. The bar is at 185, so I still believe we're probably in the first round here. Just nice and easy there for our athlete from, I want to say, is that in Wellington? All right, I do believe we are in the second round. So this is the second attempt for our athlete here. I think we just saw him just miss a little bit earlier before. So one of the things that he needs to look at, we actually did say about maybe moving back, giving himself a little bit of space between that bar so he has room to go up. So we'll see how he goes in this one.
It's still a little bit close there on our angle.
Just
it's hard to judge. Like I said, watching the TV is a lot different from being there, but just sort of clipping that underneath again.
Yes, one of the things I did see there as well, he just pushed it down with the hand as well, so that kind of indicates that maybe as an athlete he's just finding himself a little bit too close, trying to push that bar away from him, so maybe he needs to just either hold that angle that he's running a little bit longer, either that or just move the run up back, so hopefully he will talk to his coach and make a few adjustments there. But here we are back at the senior women's hammer throw. It's happening on the backfield there.
Ooh. Lost a little bit of balance there, but still got it into the sector. So
yeah, we can see that we saw her walk out the front there, so she just came off balance just a little bit. But here we are.
Third and final attempt for this young man.
Yeah, third and final attempt at 185. So we can see him just trying to do that action to remind himself to just pop up. So
is that Wellington College?
Yes.
I don't know. So close.
A much better attempt there for him, just clipping it on the backs of his hamstring. So one of the things that, like we said, he'll have to take away from this competition is what can he do to change that
a little bit frustrating, but still a valiant effort. He's sort of had 3 good attempts at 185. And
yeah, great experience for these athletes. So here we are back at the senior women's hammer throw.
That's towards that 40-metre mark again.
There we go. Yeah, the hammer going out towards the 40-metre mark. There we go. She did. I just had to look over. She got the white flag on that one, so she'll get a measurement on there.
Adjusting the bar height now, so presuming we're going up 5 or 3?
We'll have a look in a minute. Like I said, we get to a point in the high jump where we go up in 3 centimetres, whether that's at 190 or 185, I'm not 100% sure, but we will confirm that as soon as we get hold of it. We will have a few athletes looking to just start in a minute. I do see some of the athletes are still sitting wrapped up under the tent still. They're not quite ready to start. Like I said, our athletes who are heading towards that 2-metre mark may not come in until about the 196. I would say if you're over the 2-metre mark, you might look to do we may look for that 196.
And the bar has gone to 190 now, so they've gone up to that 5 centimetres. This is starting to get to the top of that sort of rankings list there, with that between 190 and 2 metres. It's really close through there, so this is where the competition will start heating up. These boys will really start to have to nail their jumps to get into that top 3.
There we go. We're back into the senior women's hammer throw. Lovely throw out there. Really, really nice angle. Nice. It's always really nice when you see a hammer throw and it goes straight into the middle of the sector as well, because it's one of those things as athletes learn. Nice,
well over that one. Great jump there.
There we go. So who do we have there from? Let's get that name jotted down.
3:30, Mr. 3:30. Where are you?
There we go in the orange.
Maybe Quinn Hartley? No, I think we saw him before.
Yeah, unfortunately our start list does not match up.
Oh, not quite for another Wanganui athlete there. Just a little bit flat into the jump, didn't quite get that height. Maybe rushing or being quite close to the bar again. But he'll get another chance to reevaluate and attack another jump there.
We are just trying to pull together a start list so we can keep track of what's happening here on this senior men's high jump. Like I said, it's great conditions for high jump out there today. It's really hot. You can see all the spectators in the background, got their hats on, got their sunblock on.
Hope everyone's got the sunnies and sunblock on, because it's, like you said, definitely roasting out there.
All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and score
So we've got
this.
Levy Ferguson here, lining up on the high jump.
And after this one, if we could just grab a quick shot of the board to see what the height is at, that would be
190.
190? Okay,
Yeah.
perfect. We are at 190.
Nice speed into the bar.
Oh, a little bit flat there.
Yep. Little look of disappointment, frustration maybe.
Yeah, so it did look like it had a few issues there with that one. Here we are back at the senior women's hammer throw. Cool. So we will be taking a lunch break at 12:30.
Oh, great jump
lovely
there.
jump there.
Brilliant.
I believe that
Another
was
good release there in the hammer. Is that just outside?
Yeah, cool. So like I said, in a couple of minutes' time, we will be taking a break, lunch break at 12:30, but we will be back at 1 p.m. this afternoon for some exciting action, not just on the field, but also on the track. We have the 800 metres, nope. Sorry, we're into a new block.
Yeah.
I'm a few hours behind. Let me try that again. We have the 100-metre men and women final coming on at 1:08 and 1:12 p.m. We have the 300-metre hurdles finals.
There we go.
That's what Cam and I
We
are
saw
both
some really
looking
good
forward
heats
to.
here yesterday, so I'm looking forward to seeing that
Yep,
one.
definitely. We have the 1,500-metre finals, the 200-metre finals, we have the steeplechase finals, and we have all the relays plus the 400s. We have the senior boys discus coming, senior women's high jump. We will continue with the senior men's high jump, and we will catch as much as a hammer throw as we can as well. So we will be back with you again at 1 p.m. Oh, lovely clearance there.
So we've had 2 or 3 guys now over 190, so...
And during that break, what we'll do is that we'll try to grab some results from that high jump, give you an update of where everyone's standing as well, because by the time we come back in about half an hour's time, I do believe we'll be in the business end of that high jump. All right, so once again, thanks for everyone for tuning in for this session. We will be back at 1 o'clock. This is the New Zealand Secondary Schools Athletics Championship here in Tauranga with Sky Sport Next. Thanks for being here, Cam.
Look forward to seeing you soon.
Catch you at 1. Thanks.